I'm a little light. I'm a little light. How are you? Ashbish and Casey. Oh, my phone's about to die. Dude, no. You remember how I showed you that thing yesterday with my phone? As soon as I ended it, it started doing it again. It's still doing it. I don't understand what the heck's going on. Remember I tried to show you, and then when I showed you, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if it does it. Hold on. Of course. Why is it that it's not doing it now? I don't know. I might as well just try to charge my phone when I'm live because it doesn't do it when I'm live. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you guys ready to learn about a new case? Not new, but sorry, I'm just finishing. Okay, sorry. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, how many of you guys, like, I do want to ask because I'm curious, how many of you guys know, are familiar with the Megan Boswell case? Whoa. Lately, I've been able to hear my mic through my phone like a lot. Holy mackerel. Is it loud? That's why I feel like, ooh, I don't know why it seems a lot louder. Okay, so put a 1 if you have heard it, and a 2 if not. So I have a playlist. I have 15 videos on my playlist. When it happened back in 2020, over 4 years ago. So the trial's going to happen. The trial's starting Monday, though, which is so crazy because I didn't realize it was starting Monday. And a couple weeks ago, I ordered the files, which I'm still waiting to. I got rejected on one of them, but then I don't know. I might be able to get some of them, but oh, my hands in emotion. But then I was like, I ordered them, and then all of a sudden, I realized that the trial was happening. I didn't even realize the trial was happening this soon. So it's just like, wow, she came to my mind. Like, this case came to my mind. Like, then the trial was going to happen in a couple weeks. But anyway, so yeah, the trials is starting Monday, which I don't think I'm going to live stream the trial, but I do want to like watch it and, do like updates maybe a couple times a week. I don't know. Who knows? I might change my mind and end up live streaming it, but probably not because it's going to be like 3 to 4 weeks long. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ashbish. Thank you, new member. You donated $1.99. You donated $2. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to start off by, guys, okay, I am going to play my first video. Well, I don't know if it was the first one I did of them. I think it was. I did like a pre-record where it's pretty good. It was from 4 years ago when it first happened. It's like a half hour, and it kind of shows. I feel like it does a pretty good summary. So I am going to play that. I'm going to play a few of my old videos. None real long. They're all pre-records. So Megan Boswell, I guess I could give you a summary, but my video is going to probably do a good job giving you a summary too. I'm pretty sure she was 16 when this happened, but she was either 16 or 17. And in my video, I even say, like, back then I say she was 6. I got to just look when her birthday. I think it actually happened. She was 16 and then she turned 17 after that. I'm pretty sure. But a young mother. Evelyn was only 15 months. Okay. She wasn't seen. Okay. The last person. Hold on. Let me bring up a picture here so I could point to people as I'm talking about them. Hold on. Let's give you a kind of a basic of who everybody is, and then I'll play my video. Okay. So hold on. Let me share my screen. It's very interesting. Like I said, the trial's coming up, and I am going to invest some time watching it because, okay. Oh, shoot. That's highlighted because when I screenshot it, I tried to do something really quick. I realized, let me just hurry, but I know it's crappy. I'll make it better. I didn't have time. This was the last thing I did. Okay. So we have Angela and Tommy Boswell. They're not married anymore, but they were together, and they had Megan, right? Megan Boswell. Megan and Ethan had Evelyn. Okay. So I'm I'm gonna always speak at the point of reference of Evelyn so you guys could make sense. So when I say grandma, that's Evelyn's grandma. You know what I'm saying? And then the mom's Megan. Since it's hard, I remember struggling with that when I was covering it because I'm like the grandma or the mom, but it's Megan's mom, or I'll just try to always speak in Evelyn's point of reference. So yeah, her mom is Megan, her grandma's Angela. So in February, hold on, let me see what date they actually, hold on. Let me just give you a quick, it was February 18th. Okay, February 19th was, okay, so February 19th, Amber Alert went out because the grandfather ends up calling it in, but says he had not seen Evelyn since Thanksgiving. Okay. There was reports that she was seen at Christmas, but it seems like from just hearing everybody, it was before Christmas that she was seen. But anyway, she didn't get reported until February 19th. The Amber Alert went out, right? He reported her, said he hadn't seen his granddaughter. Oh, wait, I'm not even sharing my screen. He hadn't seen his granddaughter since Thanksgiving. He hadn't seen Evelyn since Thanksgiving, right? This was who she was with. So Megan's boyfriend at the time, that was who her boyfriend was at the time. Hunter Wood was his name. And then Angela was with, her boyfriend was William McLeod. So he reports her, says he hasn't seen her. So then Megan ends up talking to the cops and says, oh, I dropped her off with my mom and she was babysitting her. I went to work one day and I haven't seen her since. So they had an Amber Alert out on, oh, and she stole our car, our BMW. So they had an Amber Alert out for a stolen car, trying to find Evelyn. They end up finding William and Angela, no Evelyn. So then so basically Megan takes them on a wild goose chase. She tells all kinds of different stories. Oh, they're at a campground. Oh, I rolled over and rolled over on her. Oh, Ethan has her. All these freaking lies. So they finally arrested her for falsifying, like basically falsifying reports to an authority. I mean, she had so many, which we'll go over. And they end up finding Evelyn's remains on his property. But we'll go on to that. I just wanted to kind of give you a basic. I'm going to play my old video real quick, and then we'll get into all the specifics because there's a lot. We have like three interviews we could watch of Megan before they arrest her, which is interesting. We have a little short interview of Hunter. We have different, like, with parents, Angela and William stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, this family, it's crazy. Okay, so let me start. I'm going to play my video. So now remember, this is my video from over 4 years ago. So there might be some things I might say and you'll be like, well, no, they found that out. This video is before, I think I made it before they even found Evelyn, but I think it's important because I think it's it goes over a lot of stuff that I think is important. Okay, so let me play that first and then we will go from there. Yeah, I hope you guys follow this case with me because I mean, I guess I should say they found let me just finish that real quick because just leave you hanging there. They found the remains in a shed, right? In his shed, because he lives on a compound with like a few different houses. The whole family kind of lives on it. They found it in a shed. And we're going to go over the medical examiner's testifies because you know how they have like the preliminary stuff. I actually have her testimony in court where she talks about, she has an accent that's a little hard to understand, but we could also read what she said. How she found Evelyn. Asphyxiation, but in a trash can wrapped up in like foil and a blanket, and actually was alive when she was wrapped up and put in the trash can. She was alive, they said. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, they ended up finding her. So they found Evelyn. So Amber Alert was February 19th of 2020. And then when we go through the interviews, I'll tell you the dates of that. There's an interview February 21st that Megan does, an interview February 24th that Megan does. And then They actually arrest her that night after that interview. They have a press conference February 26th to talk about the arrest. And then when they found Evelyn's remains, let me see what date that was. March 6th. So almost a month later after the Amber, or wait, February, yeah, not even quite a month after the Amber Alert, they found her remains. But if you think about it, she was last seen before Christmas, so that, I mean, she was dead for a couple months, but yeah, okay. Yes, alive. I know. It's a crazy story. It really is. All right, let me play. I'm going to play. And she says, Meg. Hold on, let me play. Let me actually fast forward that intro. It's so loud that I used to do. Okay. Okay. So this was from, when did I do this? February 27th. Yeah. So this would have been before they found Evelyn, because they found Evelyn. What did I say? I have my little cheat sheet here. They found Evelyn's remains March 6th. Okay. She was arrested February 25th. So this would have been like 2 days after they arrested her. But I don't remember, that I uploaded it, but I probably recorded it before. I don't know, because it's a pre-record, but here we go. In case if you guys haven't seen the news or heard about this case yet, she's a 15-month-old precious little girl, Evelyn Boswell. She's from East Tennessee. So she was last seen in December, but there's some conflicting stories here on when she was last seen. Originally, her mother, Megan Boswell, also goes by Maggie Boswell. Originally, she said she was last seen on December 26th, but then the babysitter came out and said that the last time she saw Evelyn was December 10th or 11th. And the cops actually said that that's probably more accurate, the December 10th and 11th. Then in one of Megan's newer interviews, she said it was sometime before Christmas. And then there's this interview with Megan's dad, which is Evelyn's grandpa. He's the one that actually reported her missing. And he says the last time he saw her was on Thanksgiving.
What do you guys think happened? Can you comment on that?
I don't know what happened, but I'm the one called DCS and got this started.
And why did you call DCS?
Because my granddaughter, she never did come back. Now I don't know what happened to her.
When was the last time you had seen her?
Thanksgiving. Up to his house. We all had Thanksgiving dinner.
So you hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I know some reports say that it was like early December. So yours was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Had you been in communication with them at all? Like, I know you hadn't seen her, but what about talking?
I hadn't talked to her enough, but I stayed busy, and I talked to my ex-wife, and I told her, I said, if Evelyn don't come home, I said, I'm going to do something about it. And she said, you better not do that. You're going to regret this.
So what is going on here? Something is not right here. So in case if you guys, I'll just give you guys a quick summary of this case in case if some of you guys aren't familiar with it. And then I have some specific things I want to share with you that are kind of interesting. Okay, so first of all, Evelyn's mother, which like I said, her name is Megan, and sometimes she goes by Maggie. So a lot of her social media profiles, she goes by Maggie. But so Megan Boswell, she has sole custody of Evelyn because Evelyn's father is in active duty in the military. So he's stationed in Louisiana. So he doesn't get to see Evelyn that much. I guess he's only actually seen her a couple times, it says. So originally the story was Megan said, after her dad reported, well, basically Evelyn's grandpa and Megan's dad, right, reports Evelyn missing. So therefore Megan kind of reports her missing and goes along with it. But who knows if she would have even reported her missing, because it's already going on 2 months and she hasn't reported her. So who knows what she would have done if her dad didn't report it. But anyway, so Megan's story is she left Evelyn with her mom. Okay. She said, I trusted my mom. I left her with my mom, Angela Boswell, to watch her while she went to work. So Megan had to go to work. It's basically her granddaughter. So she supposedly said, well, I trusted her. So she let her mom watch her and they disappeared. Okay. So her mom with her boyfriend, William McLeod. I don't know if Megan was aware that she was leaving Evelyn with the mom and the boyfriend. Who knows the specifics? But you got to. So remember, this was before we knew, like, obviously, obviously Evelyn wasn't with her mom. So remember when this was, because there wasn't as much information known. So with me saying like, oh, I wonder if she knows. Yeah, just remember this was from February 27th, 2020. But I still think it's good to watch. I don't know. Still think it's a pretty good video to watch, to see it from the beginning of like what we all were like thinking back then, and like stuff we were contemplating, like, did they have something to do with it? Because like we were really like kind of believing her, but not really. But like, was there something? Did Angela know? This is Angela. Remember, her mom's Angela. But anyway, okay.
Remember, this is Megan's story, and the cops have arrested her because of all the false reporting. So this story is probably just a complete lie, is what I'm thinking. There's probably some truth in it, because there's always some truth in the lies. But the story I'm telling you right now is her story of it. I'm not saying this is the truth, but this is what she claimed. After the father called and reported her missing, and then they talked to Megan, and Megan says, yeah, she was last seen with my mom, and she took off in this BMW that supposedly Megan was going to buy her mom, this BMW. Well, I guess her mom supposedly was like test driving it or whatever, something, and just like took off with it with Evelyn and her boyfriend, this William McLeod. So they take off when she's supposed to be watching Evelyn. So Megan said all of a sudden they disappear. I haven't heard from her. She won't answer the phone calls. So for 2 months, she can't get a hold of her mom, which doesn't make sense, because she says that, but then you'll see, I'll show you a couple instances where she is with her mom. So I don't understand, if she can't get a hold of her and she doesn't know where Evelyn is, but then she's like going to a restaurant with her, and after the Amber Alert, she's with her mom. Something just is not right here. Okay. And even the officials are saying like her stories are not adding up. There's conflicting statements that's being made. So why that is, I don't know. Megan said the reason why she was given conflicting statements is because she was trying to protect her mom. She said maybe in the hopes, and this is her words, oh, well, she just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to. She also said she didn't want to report it because she was afraid that her mom would just run away with her and just disappear, not answer the calls and kind of disappear. But isn't that what they did anyway? So if she was afraid of that, but she was doing it anyway, then what are you afraid of? Because she's already disappeared and not answering the calls. So I don't understand. Do you guys see? This is what I'm not getting. You're saying you're afraid that that's what she's going to do, but then she's doing it because you're saying that she disappeared and she won't answer calls. So she's already doing that. So just report her missing. It makes no sense. Okay. So it was February 18th is when they reported her missing. Well, when Megan's dad reported Evelyn missing, it was February 18th. So when the cops asked Megan when the last time she talked to her mom was, she said February 19th. So she actually talked to her after she was reported missing. What I don't get is there was an Amber Alert because they couldn't find her mom, but yet she was talking to her and with her at one point after the Amber Alert. So I don't understand how that works. If this person's missing, but then the person that's supposedly cooperating with the cops is with this person who the Amber Alert is out on a couple different times. There was one instance, I'll show you the text, where she was actually in a restaurant eating with her without Evelyn. And then there was this instance where she even says in the interview where she was in the car with her. So what I don't understand is how is this person missing if she's with her? I don't know. Something just is not making sense. But let me read this part of the interview real quick. And then I want to read you some of the posts that Megan has been making. She's making these posts and then she's deleting them. So let me just read you this quick part where she does an interview with News Channel 11. This is 5 days after the Amber Alert. Okay. So in the interview, she says that she knows where her daughter is. Okay. So I just wanted to read you a couple quotes from this interview.
You know what? Maybe I'll skip this because we are actually going to watch the interview. We're going to watch all 3 of the interviews she does. But I don't know. Maybe I should skip that part
here that she said. And then I'm going to read you some of the posts. Took her to a campground in Silver Camper. And if they don't go tonight, I'm going to find her myself. Because I've told them and they're not really like taking it seriously. And if they don't go tonight, I will go myself and go get her. They're not taking me seriously. TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out in Mendota, you know, to go check them out. But I've never been like, hey, specifically, hey, she's like in a silver camper because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did, Boswell said. Wow, look at all the likes. Like, who does that remind you of, all the likes? So then it goes on to say that Megan said her mother was babysitting Evelyn because she had to go to work. So when the reporter asked more about if she had any concerns when she left Evelyn with her mom, she said, well, she's my mom. I wanted to trust her. Well, I called her and she was just like, oh, she's safe. Like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not. And then the reporter asked Megan when she knew something seriously was wrong. And she said just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone, Boswell said. So then it talks about her being with her mom when the Amber Alert went off. And this is what she says. She says, whenever the Amber Alert went out, I think she was just going off on me and wanting to go to Mendota. And I kept telling her, if Evelyn's in Mendota, just take me to her. I will take her up there. We can just end this right now. Like, let's just make this simple. Just give me the child back right now before this gets blown out of proportion. And she would never be like, oh yeah, I'm taking you. She would just be like, you don't need to talk to them. I don't want you going up there, and like stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to take me to her, pull over and I will have like somebody on Sullivan County's end come get me to go up there and talk to them, Boswell said. And then the reporter asked if there's any rumors Megan wanted to address. Megan talked about the fact that her family identifies as gypsies. And then Megan says this about gypsies. Gypsies are not a cult. They have been asking people if there is like a gypsy ringleader. And we're not like ringleaders. We're not like out there kidnapping babies or anything like that. Well, yeah, like my dad's very proud of that, you know, but he's just mad about all the rumors going around, like trashing them because like we're not a cult. You know what I mean? We're not like nothing like at all, Boswell said. Wow, all these likes is crazy. It's hard to read that. Sorry, guys, but that's her words. You probably heard in the news that Angela Boswell, which is Megan's mom, 42, and William McLeod, who's 33, were arrested in Wilkes County, North Carolina, driving a stolen BMW. They're being held on charges that are not related to Evelyn's disappearance. Each are being charged with theft of over $2,500, and Angela Boswell is also being held on violation of probation warrant for theft. Supposedly, Megan Boswell was in the process of buying the BMW in question for her mother, but no money was exchanged for the vehicle. The owner of the BMW was unable to contact Megan or Angela, and the car was reported stolen. McLeod, 33, of Bristol, Tennessee, claimed that the BMW was a gift from Evelyn's mother, Maggie Boswell. So he said, I had no idea anything went wrong with the car. Apparently her daughter hadn't paid for the car. Neither of us were aware of anything. I mean, this is what he...
So I don't remember which video this is in, but I have actual audio of an interview. So one of the reporters, and I don't remember who they worked for, but they went and they did an interview with the grandpa. So I don't think it was Tommy. I almost think it was Tommy's dad or something. They did an interview and they didn't want to be filmed. So they had audio, and that person, whoever, I think it was the grandpa, but he basically said, and hopefully I'll end up coming across it as we're going through this stuff, but he basically said he was there that day that Megan gave them the BMW, and it really happened. So that car should not have been reported stolen. They shouldn't be charged because he said, I was there. They gave it to him for a gift. Like they let him take the car. They did not steal it. I was there. I witnessed it. So that whole thing of they stole the car. Well, the car was actually Hunter, her boyfriend at the time. It was supposedly his parents' car. So if they gave it to Angela, that's on them. I mean, they should be Hunter the one stealing it then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, supposedly there was a witness that said, yep, they didn't steal it. Megan gave it to her mother. But it wasn't Megan and Hunter did, but it wasn't theirs to give because it was Hunter's parents. But anyway, I just wanted to make a little side note. Hopefully I'll find that audio. I have it somewhere.
He's claiming. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some of these posts that we dug up, me and my awesome help Facebook, to maybe trying some to buy friends to show you is so I'm gonna show you some of them. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is about her boyfriend. I don't know if it's her current boyfriend, but it's the boyfriend that she was with for a few weeks. Supposedly she met him. It looks like she met him like right around the time that Evelyn disappeared. And supposedly this guy has never met Evelyn. He was under the assumption that Evelyn was living with her father, Evelyn's father, basically. So this is just a post about him. Okay. And like I said, it seems like she still thinks she's in a relationship with him, but he's making it look like they only dated a couple weeks and it's done. But I'm going to read you this here. A Blountville man said he dated the mother of a missing child for a few weeks and never saw the child. Hunter Wood, owner of Hunter T's Chicken Shack in Blountville, said he dated Maggie Boswell, for a few weeks in December. Boswell is the mother of 1-year-old Evelyn Boswell, who the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said was last seen around December 26th. Wood said he never saw Evelyn in the weeks he dated Boswell. All I've seen is pictures of her. I've never seen the baby, he said. I have no relationship with that child whatsoever. He said he met Boswell when she applied for a job at his restaurant. He characterized their relationship as on and off. He said the relationship never got serious enough for him to notice any red flags. He said Boswell told him that Evelyn was staying with her father, Ethan Perry, while he was home on military leave for Christmas. He said he believes Boswell's father alerted police of Evelyn's disappearance. He added that while he was seeing Boswell, he said she told him that Evelyn broke her arm while staying with her father. While Evelyn's father, Ethan, had the child, the baby, fell off the bed and broke her arm. And he took her to the hospital, he said. That's what I was told. So that makes you wonder, did Evelyn really break her arm? Obviously, I'm going to read you another post here where that's a lie. But it makes you wonder if there's some truth in this story. Because Megan is telling her boyfriend this. So it makes you wonder, did Evelyn break her arm somehow when Maggie had her? Because you know how, even with the Watts case, and there's always truths in these lies. So there's always, tidbits of truth. So I do believe that maybe Evelyn did break her arm. Maybe there was an accident. But we know that if she did break her arm and there was an accident, it wasn't with Ethan because Evelyn wasn't with Ethan. So that's a big lie. Okay, so here's a post from a conversation with one of Megan's old friends and Ethan Perry, which is Evelyn's father. So she asks, is it true that you and Evelyn were in Gatlinburg together and she fell off the bed and broke her arm? Or were you away on base during December? He responded, no, just a bunch of BS someone made up. I haven't been to Gatlinburg in years. The only time I met Evelyn was before December. Okay, so there was this interview I want to play you a clip from. It's with Angela, Megan's mom, Angela's dad. So it's basically Megan's grandpa and Evelyn's great-grandpa. And he talks about how he witnessed Megan and Hunter give the car to Angela because it was Hunter's.
Wow, I was on this one and I remembered right. It was the great-grandpa. Okay, so it was, yeah, this is what I was just talking about the car. Cool. I didn't realize it was on this video. That's good. So you guys could hear it.
Car. And he said, well, you'll hear. He said he witnessed it. And also for 2 weeks, Megan and Hunter were hanging out with her mom. And this was just at the beginning of this month, the beginning of February, when supposedly she had Evelyn and disappeared. So I'll let you listen to this clip here.
Accusing her of stealing that car. The day they gave it to her, they were sitting in my living room. Megan come driving it up.
Sorry, that's their wind chimes. I didn't add that effect. But so this is the great grandpa. This is Tommy's. So basically this is Megan's grandpa, Evelyn's great grandpa that's talking here. Okay.
Up into my yard and her boyfriend following her, and her boyfriend sat right there and said, I'm giving that car to Angel.
And you're saying that you witnessed this?
Yes, we did, because it happened in our home.
Gotcha. So you're saying that Megan had the car, the BMW.
Yeah, she drove it here to give to my daughter. And now they're saying she stole it. How do you steal something somebody gives to you?
Gotcha. And so you were here and you personally saw.
Personally.
Gotcha.
They pulled the car up in the yard, shut it off, it wouldn't start. They asked me to come out and see if I could help them get it started, which I did. And they, Hunter told my daughter, said in a couple of days we'll go get the title put in your name.
And is Hunter the boyfriend of Megan?
He's also lying. And Megan said that she was buying it for my daughter. That's a blatant lie. She doesn't have money to buy a second hand, much less a car. Hunter gave that car to my daughter.
Okay.
But,
Yeah. And so, do you know about when this happened, when the car was given to Angela?
it was not, let's see, Sunday before last, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about a little over a week
Couple
ago.
weeks ago, maybe. But Megan, if my daughter had taken Evelyn, the 2 weeks that my daughter stayed here, Megan was here every day with her Hunter. They were hanging with my daughter every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Why would you hang with somebody that took your child?
So you're saying earlier this month, when the car exchange happened, Angela was living with you all
Yep.
for about 2 weeks.
Yep.
And during that 2 week period, you're saying that Megan and her boyfriend Hunter came over here about every day during those 2 weeks.
Sometimes twice a day.
And so what you're saying is, if Angela had taken Evelyn, why would she hang out with her?
Hanging with her every day. Does that make sense to you?
You know, I hear your question. And have you been interviewed by police at all about this, or?
The detectives have been here several times.
Okay.
And WCYB's been here, but I'm not going to do an interview with them.
Okay.
Because they tend to twist around what you say. And
And again, just to make sure I'm correct on what you're telling me, because I want to make sure we're accurate too. You're saying that you last saw Evelyn before Thanksgiving, so in November. And the other thing is that earlier this month, there was about a 2 week period where you said Angela was living with you.
Yes.
And during those 2 weeks, you're saying Megan and her boyfriend Hunter came here
every day for that 2 week period.
Okay.
Every day. And I've been wanting to tell somebody this. I'm not going to do an interview on TV. They might as well stay away from here. They've been here 2-3 times. But I will tell you what I know. But we just don't know a lot, except Megan keeps changing her story about where the child is.
Okay, I'm going to play you a quick little clip.
So just as you know, that first story, that original story that she said was that it was December 26th. It was the last that she saw Evelyn, and she went to work and left her with her mom. This guy's saying, the grandpa that has no reason to lie, is saying that Megan and Angela lived together there for a couple weeks in February. So if Angela took Evelyn in December 26th, Megan's living now with her, wouldn't she be like, hey, where's my daughter at? It's just a bunch, it's a lie. Her story changed a bunch after that anyway, but it's just like, back then, remember, I uploaded February 27th. This was a big thing because back then it was like, whoa, that has to be a lie, This kind of reminds me of Letitia too. Letitia Stalk and her many of lies, and Casey Anthony, all the freaking lies.
Clip of a part of an interview with Hunter Wood, Megan's either ex-boyfriend or she's still with him. It's not very clear, but here's a quick little interview with him.
I've never met the father in my life as well. To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child, never seen it, never seen her or anything of that matter.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a comment by someone who actually seen
on mute. I should know now. You know what? I could hear a difference when I talk now. So I should be able to know when I'm on mute, but I didn't. Do you see that face he made at the end? Hunter's pretty strange. Like I said, I don't know if we'll get into it today because I have so much to go over, but he's got quite a record himself. And some of his mugshots are creepy. He's so creepy. But look at this end. Look at the face he makes at the end. He's like, I'm just like curious what that's all about.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a comment by someone who actually seen Megan and her mom Angela at a restaurant that she was working at, and they came in to eat. So this post was from a couple days ago, and you'll see that she saw them like a few days before the Amber Alert. So remember, this was a time where Megan was saying that she didn't know where her mom was, that her mom just disappeared and vanished, and she couldn't get a hold of her, and she had Evelyn. But yet she's going out to eat with her mom and there's no Evelyn. So here's the comment. It says, I saw Megan and Angela, Megan's mom, come into Piccadilly to eat about a week to a week and a half ago. There was no baby with them. I saw them before anyone knew Evelyn was gone, but it was just a few days before when I seen them. But like I said, no baby. And then she says how she works at Piccadilly. There you go. Why is she with her when supposedly she disappeared with her baby, but she's out with her without Evelyn? Okay, so the next one is a comment by Megan. You know, like I said before, she goes by Maggie too, and she also has a few different profiles, and one of her profiles is Maggie Wood, which is her boyfriend's last name she took, which, like I said, we don't know if they are still together. He's saying that they're not together anymore, but she's kind of acting like they're still together. So she has, like I said, a couple profiles, and one of her profiles is Maggie Wood. So she says, my mom did have Evelyn, and now TBI are trying to figure out what she's done. I honestly believe she's letting someone keep her to scare me because I know how my mother is. TBI has a lead I can't discuss until they've checked it out, and I hope you all can understand that. They should recheck the Mendota area, as that is the last place my mom had Evelyn. I really can't disclose anything more at this time, and I hope you can understand. And here's another post that she posted. It says, honestly, I left Evelyn with someone I trusted, and she took Evelyn from me. And I knew as soon as everything went down, she would run. That's why I didn't report it earlier. I love my baby, and anyone who was ever around me and Evelyn knows I took care of her and how much I love her. As to the bruises Evelyn has had in the past, they were all from learning to walk and crawl. All I want is my sweet girl back home. Please, if you know anything that's actual information and not just some BS, let someone know. Help me find my baby. Okay, so, and here's a couple pictures of the bruises they were talking about. So whether it's from learning to crawl or whatever it is, there are bruises that are seen in some of the pictures. So here are some of those. Okay, so here's the first picture I want to show you. So you could see up on her.
Sorry, I think this was from another video. I think that's why it has the music, but because I had made it like a video showing like pictures, so I just used that to show. I think it was like even a tribute or something, but anyway, just wanted to explain the music in the background.
Her left side of, well, her right side of her head, right there, you can see the bruise right there, and you'll see, I'll zoom in, and there's actually two bruises. There's one right there, and then, hold on a second. Well, that zoomed in, but you see that one below? See right there? There's two of them right there on the side of her face. So, like I said, it doesn't seem like at that age that she would be old enough to be walking. I mean, I guess crawling. Let me know what you guys think of these. What you make out of them, if you think it's an accident or if there's something going on. There's a few pictures where I used a couple different guys.
I'm just gonna skip through some of this because that one I don't know. I mean, there's looks like a scratch, but she even admitted. So she
here's
knows.
one. You know, a quick look. It doesn't really look like much, but then when you zoom in, you see that dark one on the right, and you can see where I magnified it. It's really black. There's that really black one right there, and then there's that big one, and then there's kind of a smaller one right there on the right side of her face. So she's got like, it's like all across the top of her head right there.
Thank you, Ash. Bitch. Thank you. I'll bring it up in a minute. That's what I haven't watched this part in a while. Man. I just changed the filter.
Okay, so when you first look at this, you don't really see anything, but then I zoomed in and you could see like 2 dots. Like,
I'm gonna skip through some of this.
had to happen right there to cause those, to make those by a ring. So it's hard to.
Oh wait, that was a
she's
big.
the one
I
that
forgot. That was like one of the things that were going around. People were wondering because she had that ring. I forgot. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped through that because they think that it could have been caused. I forgot. After I did this video, then people started talking about like that ring that she was seen wearing. That maybe like she like punched her or something, and it would have made the mark with the ring she was wearing. I don't know. But the fact that she pointed that out, she knows that those were bruises. The fact that she pointed out in her post, like, yeah, she's got bruises, but that was just, because that's what even confirms that, yeah, these are.
So maybe is actually the one that found these bruises and these marks and stuff. So she's the one that thought of, well, it looks like it could be caused by a ring. So she found this picture where it does look like Megan is wearing a ring right there. It's hard to tell for sure, but I guess these pictures were taken really, the day after and the same day as that day where she's wearing the ring.
Oh,
so yeah. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's nothing for sure. It's just,
I'm gonna skip.
Just trying to figure it out. Not looking good. I mean, first of all, you can see she
breaks my heart, dude. This one, she looks so, like, not even necessarily like bruises or anything. She looks so like malnourished and dehydrated. I don't know. There's something about this picture. I just see like somebody that is just dehydrated, not eating right, just not being treated right. And she just looks sick in the eyes too. Like she's just not doing good. Oh,
is a black eye. She's got, if you look really close, she has another one of those little marks, those little dots, like a
dark eyes,
puncture wound or something, and just look at her eyes. It's almost like she looks malnourished, like dehydrated, or just tired and just not healthy at all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's another one with a big bruise in the middle of her head, and then 3 more of those little marks. Who knows? Okay, so here's a post from somebody who knows Megan Boswell, aka Maggie Wood. She was saying how her daughter was actually best friends with her, and she's known her since she was in kindergarten. Okay, so here's what she writes. Maggie Wood, you are on your way back to the police station now in safe hands. I would just say from the 2 days I've spent with you that you have done nothing but lie to me. And I'm the one person that had your back. And I don't understand why you absolutely know more about where Evelyn is. If you want any kind of future at all, like I've told you, then you need to tell what's really going on and not change your story unless it involves the truth. By the way, you're not pregnant. You've not been to the doctor. There were no prenatal prescription vitamins for them to confiscate. TBI, I mean. Your story isn't adding up. And for 2 days, I've not been able to comment on here. I've had your back. I still have your back. I've known you since you were in kindergarten. You were best friends with my daughter, Matt. You've lied to the point investigators don't even want to talk to you anymore. That needs to scream something to you. Your future is on the line. If you're innocent, I don't think you hurt Evelyn. I just think you know what happened afterwards. You need to tell them where she's at. I know you know. Okay, so now we know this post was before Maggie was arrested. So like I said, now I started working on this video before Maggie was even arrested. So, but now, like I said, I'm going to add that at the end because she is arrested now because of all these false reports. So, but I want to read you the rest of these Facebook posts that we found. Okay, so here's another post from somebody that was friends with her in high school and that actually was working with her up until this all happened. Okay, so it says, I was friends with her in high school and worked with her up until all this started, and I quit. She claimed to be pregnant for the last few weeks I was there. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty confident that the whole story is just a lie, just like everything else she's saying. She definitely knows what happened to Evelyn, and I don't believe it's anything like she's saying because nothing she says has ever added up. I always believed her when she said Evelyn was with Ethan because, I mean, who wouldn't believe that when you've never met the baby and don't really know the situation? Then her saying Ethan was supposed to drop the baby off the week before all this started to her OBGYN appointment for the ultrasound for her being pregnant this time. It's just funny to me. Hunter never said anything about that. But she also told me the day after that ultrasound that, mind you, Hunter didn't go to, even though he's supposed to be the father of this one. Pregnant for the last few weeks, I was there. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty confident that the whole story is just a lie like everything else. That she had a miscarriage and lost the baby. So basically she's saying she told her after the day of the ultrasound that she had a miscarriage and lost the baby. Take all of this as you will, but she is a compulsive liar and can't be believed with anything she says. So she's telling this girl that she works with that she had a miscarriage, but she's telling everybody else that she can't take the polygraph because of her being pregnant. And the whole thing with the polygraph is not because it'll hurt the baby. It's because it could throw off the results of the polygraph. It could produce a false positive for the polygraph. So it's not necessarily going to harm the baby. But basically, we all know that that's just a lie because even TBI said they never requested a polygraph. Well, actually, I have a post on that may be found for me. And also, I believe there's an article now that they came forth and talked about how she was lying about this polygraph. But I'm going to read you this post here with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office where somebody asked them about the polygraph. So this is how big of a liar she is. Okay, somebody says, Sullivan County, can you please provide your polygraph policy? Do you offer polygraph? And is it true that Maggie Boswell was denied a chance to take a polygraph test due to being pregnant? Said, thank you for your message. This account is not monitored 24 hours a day. We will reply to you soon, blah, blah, blah. And it says, okay, so then they responded, we do not use the polygraph, nor do we have one at the sheriff's office. This is just another lie of the many that Megan has told. Are you kidding me? Gosh, this girl is just lying. Everything she said.
Hey guys.
Everything sheriff's office makes you sad, but I think we're all thinking that this isn't looking good. But it says they are serving the campground in Mendota this time with canines, most likely cadaver dogs. And then somebody says, I really hope the baby is alive, but it's not looking good. And I said, no, it's not. I don't expect them to find her alive, and not sure what to say and not to say, but the department hasn't been looking for a living child for several days now. They're following all leads on any sightings, but their search has been focused more on the remains. Many people that want babies that would take good care of her. Many babies, they would love her. Evelyn. There are so many people that would pay good money for a baby, that want to love and take care of a baby so badly that they're willing to pay. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand people. They're crazy. They're just evil people these days. This is happening way too much. Okay, so here is one more post between somebody and Megan, aka Maggie. Somebody says to her, take a polygraph. If you're pregnant or doesn't affect the baby until you're further along. If you didn't do anything to her, prove everyone wrong. And Maggie says, how far along does it start affecting? And she replies, Maggie Wood, 3 to 4 months. And Maggie says, thank you. And she says, Maggie Wood, sorry, I read my info wrong. The 3rd trimester is when you can't. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't affect the baby. It's because it could produce false. She never even offered or made an appointment like she said. It was just all a lie. That never happened. And a lot of people are saying they don't even think she's pregnant anyway. So, but I have no idea if she's pregnant or.
She wasn't even pregnant. That was a lie. Not even pregnant. Anyway, but we'll see that interview. After this, I'm going to play her 3 interviews. You'll see the day that she gets arrested. She does an interview, and then later that night she gets arrested. But you'll see her talk about the whole pregnant thing. But yeah, that was a complete lie. Not pregnant
or not. I don't know. I'm lying. And a friend. Okay, so I'll read you a couple more quick posts from Maggie and a friend. So friend's asking, how is Evelyn? She says, good. And she says, you should bring her up here to meet Carrie. And Maggie responds, I don't have her. Ethan's got her, but we could come tonight if you want us to. And she responds, tonight wouldn't be good. When's the next time you could come? And she said, probably not for another couple weeks. So she's already lying. She's lying. This was January 19th. This was when Evelyn was already gone with her mom, missing. And she's telling her friend that Ethan has her, which we know is a lie. And that's also what she told her boyfriend. So, and then another quick post that says, where she says, this was January 25th. It says, I'm impregnated. It said, for real? And she responds, yes. And they respond, that's awesome. Evelyn's going to have a sibling. So, and that one, I forgot to read you the date, but you could see the first one was where she said Ethan has that was from January 19th. So yeah, one from January 19th is telling her friend that Ethan's got Evelyn. And then one from January 24th and 25th telling her friend that she's pregnant. Okay. So the last post that I wanted to show you here. There's this post from Hunter Wood, which is either her current boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, but it was the boyfriend that she had right around the time that Evelyn disappeared. It was almost like they said that they met almost right around the time that Evelyn was last seen. There's conflicting stories whether they're still together or not, but there is this post here that shows him he's building a new house, I guess. So it's almost like that it's for him and Maggie, that he's building a house and that she's going to be with him. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's him in front of his new house he's building. So whether or not he was planning on having Maggie with him or not, but I have a feeling that Megan, aka Maggie, will probably be in prison for the most of her life, because I don't think she's going to get away with this, because I think she does at the very.
Okay, so that's why I'll play with this one. But yeah, so that was a video I had done over 4 years ago. Whoa, that's crazy. But yeah. All right, so I'm going to play her interviews now. I'll play them in order that they happened. Now, this was before she got arrested, and you could see what she
released.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to play that again. You'll see what she says. A little liar. Okay. So, hold on. Let's see. The first one is February 21st. Okay, hold on. Let me find that one. Okay, February 20th. Which one was that? That was one. Actually, hold on a second. I didn't realize this. I just described it in my timeline of like which interview, and I'm like, oh, this interview is where she's standing outside the police station. Well, there's 2 interviews that she's standing outside the police station. So give me 1 second. I do want to give the correct date of which one's which. I'm silly. She does that on 2 of them. Hold on. Just give me 1 minute. February 21st. Okay, so hold on. Because 1, I don't think I actually have a date for, but okay, so that's the 20. Hold on. First. Okay. And then, okay. All right. So I'm not sure one of them. I'm going to play the one that I know is from the 21st. So remember, the 21st would be, the Amber Alert was on the 19th. And then, oh, that's right. Shoot, I do have the okay, never mind. I do have the dates for all of them. I just realized. Okay, here's the 21st. So it would be, oh, actually, let me play it from here. I'll play it from this website. It's a better, clearer picture. So yeah, this would be basically 2 days after the Amber Alert, and then like 4 days before she got arrested. All right, here we Here we go.
I just want to tell you
You
about like
hear?
her favorite things and personality wise. I know, like looking on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me what's her favorite toy?
She has a little baby shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loves to take baths. That was her favorite thing. And she had little shark toys that swim in the bath and stuff like that.
How old is she now?
She's 15 months today, actually.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me a little bit? Like, so you said she's very sweet. Is she sweet with everybody, or just
She
you?
is. She loves everybody.
Can you tell me a little bit about like how you're feeling? Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course, I miss her, and like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. Yeah, that's my child.
I'm sorry. I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me though.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of it?
Real quick, crazy because she got that tear going right away. I mean, there is a real tear, which it makes me think like, where is that emotion coming from? Like, I know she's evil, but does she have some kind of emotion about it? Like, does she actually have feelings, even though she did an evil thing? Is she feeling any bad at all? I don't think, because I mean, but like, God, unless she's just a good actress, because she just got that tear. Like it's dripping down her face real quick, real freaking quick. She's just probably one of those people that could just cry on whenever. No, there was a real tear. It dripped down her face. Calm your teeth. Look, that's why I wanted to stop and make a remark. Some people, I guess, probably can just do that. It dripped down her face. Look, watch.
About her.
It's
Do you
right
have
there.
any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not
at,
on me though.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of it?
This is
I just want
before
her back.
she's even charged, so it's not like, I don't know.
If you could tell her anything now,
People are
what would you say to her?
interesting.
I love her and I miss her, and that I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her any way I can.
Is there anything that you can tell us about, like, what kind of baby she is? I know you said that it's hard to see.
She's a happy baby. She hardly ever cries. She wants to wave and talk to everybody. She walks funny. She doesn't know how to pick her feet up, so she kind of wobbles.
Is she talkative?
She is.
What,
She giggles a lot. You'll smile at her, she'll just start giggling. She's very happy.
And so you said she is talkative. It's full sentences. Like, what milestones has she met? Like, is she a smart little girl?
She is. She hit every milestone early. She can almost say I love you. She's not fully got to sentences yet, but she does say a lot of words.
You must be so proud of her.
I am. When Baby Shark plays, she tries to like dance with them and sing it.
You said that's her favorite song. Do you do the puppet with her a lot? And I know all of this is very hard. Can you tell me like how you're feeling?
I just want her back. That's all I want.
Are you feeling worried or anything along those lines?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that at all?
Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. So I'm just worried about, like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time.
So you do know who has her? You do. Can you tell us who that is, or you don't?
I can't release anything further about that. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but further than that, I can't say anything.
And so you do know who has her. Are you worried about her safety?
Well, now I am, because they won't answer phone calls. They've just kind of disappeared.
What is it like to? I'm assuming that you trusted this person. How has this trust been broken? What's been going on with that?
It has definitely been broken after this.
Have you spoken to her father at all during this process? Are you having any support from
No.
him or from your family?
Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is.
That's good. But you haven't spoken to him at all.
Mm-mm.
When was the last time you saw her?
In December.
In December. Okay. And what was that last day like? Was it a good day? I think it was about around Christmas, right? Can you tell me about that?
It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair and a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink.
And what, like, I know that you're hoping that she'll be returning shortly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know like what's going on and like, you know, they need to bring her back home.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you trusted this person. So when did you realize that that trust might have been broken?
Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody.
Around when was that?
Whenever this whole thing started.
Okay. All right. And can you tell me a little bit more about like how you're feeling? You know, all of this is scary and everything. Can you tell
It
me
is.
about
I just want her back.
that? Mhm.
That's all I can think about. Is just get her back.
Is there anything the community can do to help you?
No. Other than look for her. I know they released the car information and the tag number and stuff like that. Just any leads at all, they need to like call us so we can go check them out. Trying to find her.
Has anyone like have you gotten any information from the community that's been helpful, or you just kind of been?
I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are working their butts off.
Has the police department and everything, the sheriff's office, been keeping you in the loop for this
They
whole
have
process?
been.
How's that been going? Has that been good? Positive?
It is good.
Good. And I know that you said that you're getting a lot of support from your family. Are they like helping you going to courts and meetings and stuff with you? I know you've had a lot of.
Yeah, they didn't know I had court today. Or I'm sure my grandma would have been there.
Did you keep it from them, or?
I mean, I've just not really talked to them that much today, to be honest. And like I said, stuff was going on like while we were sitting in the courtroom, and I couldn't, well, not while, but like, you know, waiting to go to court, and like I just couldn't tell her exactly what was going on.
So you said like obviously you can't share anything about the case, so you haven't been sharing with like your family or anything either.
No.
How's that, not being able to confide in anyone?
I mean, the police officers are very nice, especially like Sergeant Matt Price and stuff like that. I can talk to him or like them, and they've been like really helpful this whole time. They really have been.
And anything else that you think that people should know about Evelyn, about like what makes her so special?
She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, you know, the little dimples on her face.
Do you think she looks like you?
No, she definitely looks like her dad, but she does have my eyes.
That's good. You have very pretty eyes.
Thank you. She's the cutest baby ever. So you'll know it's her when you see her. She loves everybody. She tries to kiss everybody on the cheek. She tries to wave to everybody. She's very friendly. She's very friendly and sweet. So
when hopefully you're reunited with her, what will be the first thing that you do?
just hug her. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but like I miss how she smells and like her laugh and like everything. I just want to hold her.
So I know that this must be, you're missing your baby, and then there's been trust broken, right, as well. Are you worried about her safety?
I mean, in a way, yes, just because we can't find, you know, the car or nothing like that. But they have exhausted almost every option, you know what I'm saying? They're working around the clock. They have a whole room of people if they're like dedicated just finding her, and I appreciate that.
Do you think that they are going to find her?
I do. I have full confidence.
You do. Are you feeling hopeful?
I am.
Can you tell me about that? Like what keeps you going? What's giving you hope? And
The team up there is just honestly really good. They're all really good, and I can like confidently say that, you know, like when I'm not up here, I know that they're doing their best to find her. I'm not worried that when I'm not up here, they're not like, you know, just sitting around and twiddling their thumbs. I know that they are trying genuinely.
Right. Do you have any regrets about not involving police sooner? I know that.
Well, sort of, but also in a way, I knew that as soon as anything went down, you know, the person was going to just disappear, and they have, and they've tried to find them. They are going to find them.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they'll bring her back to me.
You feel fully confident then. That's good. But if you could do this all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I probably called the first day. I should have, but I just didn't want them to run with her like they have now.
Did you ever expect them to run with her?
I knew that if anything really happened and anybody got involved, they probably would.
Can you tell me why she was with them if you were worried about this?
They were watching her for me while I went to work.
So it was like a babysitting type of
Oh,
child
liar.
situation. But you thought they might run with her?
No, until they took her, no. Then after that, I was like, well, if anything happens, I'm worried they will run with her. And to be honest with you, I won't lie, I didn't know how good the team was up here. And if I did, I would have called the second that I realized. They are very good, like I said. They are doing everything they can, and I'm very confident in that. And that makes the situation a lot easier.
And so you said that, when did you realize that they had completely disappeared?
Like I said, I can't release anything like specific. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but
so anything else you'd like to add? Anything that you want to tell me about Evelyn?
her favorite food is sweet potatoes. She's allergic to carrots.
She's allergic to carrots. What else does she like?
She loves those little applesauce pouches.
Yeah.
She's very smart. Like, even she quit her own sippy cup at 6 months old, or not a sippy cup, but she quit a bottle. I'm sorry, and went straight to a sippy cup. And like, I would leave her snacks in the floor, like in the little containers, and she'd open them up herself and like get one out at a time. Like, she's a very smart, very good baby, and I just want her back.
You just must be so proud of her.
I am.
Is there anything that you would like to say to her?
That I love her and that I will find her. She'll be back as soon as humanly possible.
Anything else you think people should know?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't even on mute. Okay. So that was February 21st, and then we have. Actually, before that I do that, I gotta change this. Oh no, I did change it to go over. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I'm trying to find. Hold on a second. Why won't it give me that? Huh. All right. Okay, so the next one is February 24th, which is actually the day before they arrest her. She does an interview sitting on her front porch. And the lady that's with her in the interview is actually the one. I think it was the one, when I was reading those posts that said they knew her or whatever, I think it was her. But I'm going to read more posts. She talks about something that like Megan had said to her, which I'll read them after this interview, which is kind of interesting. But she was like her support, going through this before they arrested her. This woman like was her support. She's actually sitting next to her. I don't think they show her though. I'm pretty sure I don't know if they show her in this interview, but and then after she gets arrested, she starts like thinking about things that she said and stuff, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so that is the 24th is going to be the porch right here. Oh, hold on. There we go.
She's very sweet. She loves everybody.
Oh,
She's
wow.
never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general. Like textbook how you want a baby to be, like has hit every milestone early, you know what I mean? Well, when she was 6 months old, she actually quit a bottle on her own and went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around like 10 months. That was kind of hard though, because she's like not like small as in like underfed, you know what I'm saying? But like she was a preemie when she was born. She's like a smaller baby and she kind of had trouble like balancing her weight, but she finally got the hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words and,
Tell me what kind of things she likes to do. What kind of is she into any sort of TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. Like I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that. And that's like a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota, My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm gonna go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really like taking it seriously. And if they don't go tonight, like I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time though that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with a matching bow, little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, like you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and she basically like threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
See, you heard her in the background talking, that friend that was her like support that's known her for a while. That's who I was talking about. But I'm not, they cut it out. Did you notice? They cut that on the interview. You could just hear a little bit.
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not like people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
They're not taking me seriously. TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out at Mendota. You want to go check them out? But I've never been like specifically, hey, she's not your silver camper. Because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
So your mom has had Evelyn the whole time? Or the whole time?
Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Tell me why you let your mom take care of her. Did she take her from you that night? And
well, she was just supposed to babysit her because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever like she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her like, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Like nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking. I was like, oh, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station, come and get me. Like I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit, was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her, and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into like everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not. But
obviously now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back. I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Talk to me about when you had the indication that she was missing and something was seriously wrong.
Just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone.
Talk to me about why your dad made that report.
Because he was talking to my mom the night before, and he was like, oh, well, if she doesn't come home, I'm going to call. And she was going on, well, you're going to regret this. Like, I'm going to have to leave and never be able to come back. You will regret this.
Was there a reason that, that you didn't make the call and it was your dad?
Because mom kept threatening me if I made the call.
Well, you said that you've had some issues with your mom in the past. Was there a reason you decided to let her babysit her that night? I know that, you said that you had
Well,
some
she's
issues.
my mom. I wanted to trust her.
Sheriff Cassidy told the media on Friday, I was there, that you were giving conflicting statements.
Because I wouldn't necessarily, I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
So now you're coming out and you're saying this is the honest truth, that you know where she is.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
Are you cooperating as much as you can with TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department?
I am.
But just tell me, how so are you, constantly on the phone with them, talking about the tips, anything like that?
Yeah, and I've looked into stuff online myself. Like, people are like circulating pictures around me, like, oh, this is Evelyn, you know what I'm saying? And like that kind of thing. But no. And like Saturday, nobody would answer me, and I blew all their phones up. And every chance they've let me be up there, I have been up there.
And Wednesday will be a week since the Amber Alert went out. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I just don't know if the person who has her is like maybe scared that they're going to get in trouble. But they won't. They just bring her back.
What are you thinking about her current status right now? Do you think she is okay? Do you think she's being taken care of? And what is your message to authorities right now? To the TBI, Sullivan County, and all of the sheriff's departments and any authority that's working on this case?
Just that if they don't take it seriously, what I just said, I will go find her myself. They've told me before they'll arrest me for tampering with evidence. And I told them on my phone, I was like, I don't care if you arrest me for tampering with evidence. If you go up there, I'm going to tonight.
Do you have a message to the public?
Don't stop until she's back. They need to stop reporting like psychics for one, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Because that just wastes the TBI's time when they could be actually trying to find my daughter. Instead, people are like, oh, well, this lady did tarot card reading. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that just takes away from the time of like them actually searching for my daughter. I'm just happy that people are coming together to try to find her. Because the main important thing right now is the baby. I'm just happy that people are trying to find her.
Have you been in contact with her father, Ethan?
Yeah. He's actually trying to get leave approved right now to come up here and try to, help find her.
What is her relationship like with him?
She's only been around him a couple times because Murray was in the army.
And what is your relationship like with him? Do you keep in contact with him?
Well, yeah, we have a kid together. You know what I mean?
Did you notify him when you knew something was wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have multiple social media profiles? Is one that we've been getting a lot.
Because I break phones a lot and I forget the password. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really bad about remembering passwords. Now I have them all set to one, but, up until that point, I just couldn't remember the password to them. So I'll just make a new one when I got a new phone.
Tell me why you wanted to come out today and speak with us.
Just to talk about Evelyn, and if TBI doesn't go find her tonight, I'm hell-bent on going myself. And that's the truth, one way or another.
This is a really big case, and a lot of people have a lot of questions surrounding this. Is there any other message that you want to send to anyone?
Well, if you don't have tips for sure, because over 370 some tips have been called in and they've just not panned out. Like, I appreciate people trying to help, but also that's wasting TBI's time because they have to check out every single lead that's called in.
Obviously it's been a long time since you've seen her. Are you worried about that? About reuniting with her?
No, because I love her. I know she loves me.
And do you think she's been taken care of well in the time that you've missed with her?
I hope she has been.
Tell me what the first things you want to do with her.
I'm just going to hug her and not let her go.
Wow.
They'll have to pry her from my arms. Literally, because I'm just not going to let her go. Probably going to sing Baby Shark to her. And just hug her and not let her go. My favorite thing is the first time she kissed me, Lord, I cried for over a week because she would pull my hair and I would just let her do it, because I love her. I didn't want to make her cry or be upset in any way. And she would pull chunks of my hair out. And she was in her walker one night and she dropped her sippy cup and I bent down to pick it up. And I thought, oh, she's going to pull my hair. She put my face close to her and she kissed my cheek and I just cried about it for over a week. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm the first person that she's kissed. You know what I'm saying? Just little stuff like that. I love her to death. And I would hate to have missed out on anything. Especially because of my mom.
And obviously, you told me you talked to your mom a couple of times throughout this. And each time, did she give you any update on Evelyn?
She just told me that she was safe.
So when was the last time you talked to your mom? Physically just the two of you on the phone or?
Wednesday, the 19th.
Can you tell me any details about that conversation?
I mean, she was just going off on me and wanting to go to Mendota. And I kept telling her, I was like, if Evelyn's in Mendota, just take me to her. I will take her up there. We can just end this right now. Let's make this simple. Just give me my child back right now before this gets blown out of proportion. And she would never be like, oh yeah, I'm taking you. She'd just be like, you don't need to talk to them. I don't want you going up there and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to take me to her, pull over and I will have somebody on Sullivan County's end come get me to go up there and talk to them.
What is your biggest fear right now?
I have a lot of them. Just that I don't know that maybe they won't find her tonight or, maybe they don't find her tomorrow. Maybe it's weeks from now before they find her. The people aren't going to be like, oh, well, I'm not giving her back because I've kept her for 2 months. This is my child now. Well, still, I'm just worried that they're going to be angry about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
She just needs to come home.
Exactly.
She's been away from her mom for long enough.
Oh, I know there are a ton of social media rumors. So if there's anything that you want to set straight that I'm not aware of, I will. This is
Gypsies are not a cult. They've been asking people if there's a gypsy ringleader and we're not ringleaders. We're not out here kidnapping babies or anything like that.
So would you describe your family as a gypsy family?
Well, yeah. And my dad's very proud of that. you know, but he's just mad about all the rumors going around, like trashing them because, like, we're not a cult, you know what I mean?
And now that your mom is back here, and are getting ready to be back here in Sullivan County, what do you hope comes out of that? Obviously, she and her, what I believe is her boyfriend, was arrested.
Well, I doubt she's going to tell the truth, but hopefully she does, for Evelyn's sake. Not even for her sake at this point. Just if she hears this, I hope you tell the truth for her sake. Like, that is your grandbaby.
That is your daughter, Megan. You told like how many different lies? What was it, like 11 different charges for falsifying reports, I think, or maybe nine or 11. Yeah. Oh, what about for your daughter? You're saying for your granddaughter? Yeah, we could say the same thing now. For your daughter, like, are you kidding me? The nerve that she has to get up there and say that when she knows what she did. And that she's lying through her teeth, trying to blame it on other people. Because not only did she say that, and then she also, at one of her stories, she tries to blame Ethan, the father.
It's went on long enough.
Damn. Okay, so actually, before I play the third interview, I want to play I want to read those messages because we just watched that. Now, the lady that was like her support during all this, then she, you just saw her keep putting her hand on your shoulder and talking and stuff. Now, let me read some of her posts because, during it, she was believing her, right? But then after she realizes, that something's not right. So let me read a few of her posts real quick. Oh, I think this is okay. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I want to see. I'm trying to think because not all of these are her. These people are talking, and I can't. I'll be able to tell you for sure which ones she is when she talks about. No, oh wait, where'd that go? I'm not sure if this one is. I apologize, but it's still interesting to hear it all. So it says Tommy Boswell Sr. had his land searched because of the threat that Angela had made about him regretting ever reporting baby girl missing. So when her ex, Tommy, would be Angela's ex. Remember, Angela's the grandmother, Tommy's the grandfather. Tommy's the one that called in the missing report. Well, Angela said, "You'll regret that." So she actually tells him, "Oh, you'll regret doing that." So people at first thought, which now I don't think that. I think because I don't think Angela was involved, but at the time we did think she was involved. They thought that she, as retaliation for doing that, put Evelyn like after the fact in Tommy's shed on Tommy's property to make it look like, he did it. Look, haha, you'll regret that. See what I'll do. And then they thought that she went and put Evelyn's remains in Tommy's shed. Now, I don't know. The more that I've learned, I don't think that's the case because I don't think Angela had anything to do with it, but I'm still not 100% sure. But I'm leaning more towards, I just think it was Megan, but I mean, what do you guys think? I could be wrong. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she did, but anyway, so it says, had his own land searched because of the threat that Angela had made about him regretting ever reporting baby girl missing. She wasn't found. How strange is it that 24 to 48 hours after Angela bonds her boyfriend out of jail, an anonymous tip was sent to the station that made them go check his property again, and she was found. It is kind of weird, but they searched his property numerous times, y'all. Y'all can't tell me Angela and William McMethy, McCloud, they call him McMethy because the meth, that is silly. It's kind of funny. Didn't set that man up for this because I feel that in my soul, what happened to this baby? I hope Megan gets more than what she got already since being locked up. This baby didn't deserve not a lick of what she endured. So I don't know. It is kind of strange that they had searched that property before they didn't find her. And then the day after they get bonded out, they end up searching it again. And they end up finding her. I mean, maybe we'll find out. Let's see what the trial, see if they have any evidence. She was never charged. I don't know. But sometimes, sometimes cops get it wrong. I mean, I think Megan is 100%. Here's what I think could have possibly happened. I think Megan is the one that did it, but I think maybe she confided in her mom and her mom helped her. Maybe afterwards, like move Evelyn. I mean, I could see that possibly happening, but I don't know. Okay, so I know, baby girl. That's what it makes me think of that the Paul case. Okay, so it says court hearing for Megan this morning. Law enforcement reported that Evelyn was found with the same clothes on that Megan said she last saw her in, the pink tracksuit. She was also found with various other items, toys, clothes, diapers. They raised her bond to $150,000. Actually, I went backwards on this. Okay, this is the way. Okay, so it says, hey guys, just a little insight. Nobody knows this yet, but my aunt's husband is William McLeod's bondsman. And he told me, a spoiler alert, Angela and McLeod bonds are about to be revoked. So this is when they were in jail. A lot of people thought they were involved. And then when their bonds were getting revoked, people were mad. Like, oh, you can't let them out. But anyway, somebody says, what? They say, good to know. Yeah, keep it hush hush because nobody's supposed to know yet. But apparently their monitors pinged. And then it says, I saw a screenshot where you said Megan was relieved they didn't find anything the first time they searched her dad's. So this is actually talking to that person that was with her, her friend. And now you'll see her respond. That friend that was, like it's an older lady was like, talking and tapping her, like touching her. But anyway, it says, so she was relieved when they didn't find anything at her dad's the first time. Okay. In your opinion, what do you think? Do you think she knew all along? She says, absolutely, she knew. She said multiple times, I'm going to jail if they find anything. And when I asked her why she'd even say that, she said she thought her mom would make it look like she did it. And I said, Megan, the investigators are smarter than that. She was extremely relieved when they didn't find anything. So that's why a bigger part of me thinks they just missed it the first time looking, because she seemed all relieved because she knew, oh, shoot, I put Evelyn there. They already searched. They didn't find anything. So she was relieved. Right. But anyway, so then, wait, where are we at? And then she says, and then this person says, I've been looking for an actual comment from you instead of a screenshot. I'm going to say this. I think Maggie is the ultimate guilty party. I believe she's the only one responsible for Evelyn's death. What is your personal opinion? Be happy to, okay, wait. Says Megan's attorney spoke to the news and said he told her last night. Her lawyer told the reporter that Megan was sad, just like any mother would be. BS. And it says, I'm sorry, but I spent time with Megan and that girl knew the whole time. I think her mom knew too. I think as long as they didn't find a body, it'd be harder to prosecute for murder. So sorry. Do you know exactly what happened to that baby? Was it Megan's fault or her mother's? What exactly happened? And they said she was found in the garage, not buried. So this person's trying to ask this lady that was very close to Megan at the time, right? It says, all I know is Megan showed up at my door the day they were searching Tommy's property. Tommy is Megan's dad, right? The first time. The investigators told her over the phone that they had, quote, sensitive evidence that they could not tell her over the phone what it was, that she had to come down to the police station to find out. And she told them she wanted to wait until the next morning to find out. And that is when I looked at her in the eye and asked her what the F was wrong with her and made her go. Made her go down there that night. I never did find out what the evidence was because she would not tell me. So I knew she was lying the whole time, but I knew the way she was acting that day that they were searching Tommy's property. And she kept telling me she's going to get arrested. She's going to get arrested. And every time I'll ask her why, she would tell me because my mom would do something and make it look like it's my fault and my dad's fault. And I did tell the investigators that, and I felt like they need to look more. See, so I think I'm more leaning towards that Evelyn was there even that first time and they just somehow didn't find her. Because look, this lady's with her while that's happening. And that first time, and Megan is just so nervous thinking, it's up. They're going to find her. I'm like, yep, because if she put her there, she would know that she was there, right? Anyway, where are we at? Okay, so it looks like it's my dad, like my fault and my dad's fault. I did tell the investigators that I felt like they need to look more into Tommy's property because of how nervous she was and then how relieved she was when they didn't find anything. And I don't mean relief that, oh, my baby's not there and she's okay, just overall relief that she wasn't going to jail. And then it says, I'm so sorry Megan dragged you along on this obvious emotional roller coaster. Obviously, I don't know anyone personally, just what I see on the news and online. I just wonder how the police didn't find Evelyn the first time, unless she was moved there afterward. And it says, may I ask you why she came to your home? Did Hunter throw her out of his home? Says, I've known her most of her life, and she, for the most part, was of sound mind, but we started to notice that she seemed disconnected and distant. Yes, like I've said before, I've known her since she was 5 years old. I'm not saying she went some shit in life, or she went through some crap in life, but no, that kind of things that would make you or allow her to kill her. Oh, she's saying she did go through some hard times, basically, but not the kind of things that would make you or allow you to kill your baby, basically is what she's saying. And it says, also, I've said this many times, Megan showed up at my door after the Amber Alert was issued. I was the closest thing she had to a real mom. And I spent those days questioning her, calling her out on her lies, making her go to the sheriff's office. I mentally couldn't do it anymore. I was in touch with investigators the whole time. My son came and picked her up. He took her to the sheriff's office again. And she was telling them she didn't want to go there anymore. I'd be camped out there looking for my baby, and she slept better than I did at night. I know, because she slept right beside me. She wasn't worried or upset about her baby at all. And that's what I witnessed. Also, the day my son came and picked her up at my request is the same day she was arrested. One thing I've noticed in that her charges haven't been changed. She could still be bonded out of jail. Wait, one thing I've noticed in that her charges haven't been changed. She could still be bonded out of jail. This is when I just prayed for false reporting. But they did charge her. What day was that? For the murder, it was August 19th is when so remember, they found Evelyn's remains March 9th. They confirmed it was Evelyn March 11th. Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. They found the remains March 6th. They confirmed it was Evelyn's March 11th, and then they didn't charge her for the 2 counts of felony murder till August 19th, but she was already in jail February 25th. She was already in jail that whole time for the false reporting. So they didn't need to hurry up and charge her because they already had her in jail. You know what I'm saying? So make sure they build the case and do it a smart way, So I think that's what she's saying. Like at that time, she wasn't even charged with murder yet, right? But anyway. And what was this? I don't believe for a minute that you have hurt Evelyn. Oh, I'll probably read these after. Hold on, let me see what I got. Because I'll probably read the rest after I play her last interview. Let me see. I mean, I guess I could read them now. Why not? What the heck? Okay. So somebody's rating her Evelyn or Megan and Maggie, same person. So I don't believe for a minute that you have hurt Evelyn in any way, shape, or form. I think you, again, like I told you before, have gotten involved in something over your head. And I even told you they don't even want to talk to you anymore because the story has changed so much. And I've not said one thing on here that has not been true. I just talked to Hunter again, by the way. And it says, and you have lied to me, Maggie Wood, and you know you have because you've even admitted to me. And it says, Maggie, so somebody's talking to Maggie. It says, and sweetheart, it's almost laughable that you get on here and say you haven't lied. Why didn't you just text me what you had to say if you felt that strongly about it? Because you know you have lied to me. Even you've lied to me. Even you've lied. And to be honest, the last 2 times you've been to the sheriff's station, number 1 was because I drugged your ass up there Sunday so we can find out what? So that's that person, her supporter at one point, that lady, right? Says that sensitive evidence thing was which you still haven't been honest with me about, but you wanted to wait till the next day to go up there and find out what that was. I had a big problem with that and told you then I did. So basically what she was telling that other person what she did. Okay, here's some information from an article. It says friends that works at Evelyn's doctor's office is that Maggie changed Evelyn's pediatrician by telling them she was changing doctors. This was in October, and they have never received anything from any doctor requesting her records or anything, and they haven't seen Evelyn since then. Who would do that? So I think it's fair to say that Evelyn was alive December 10th because the babysitter supposedly actually seen her December 10th, unless if the babysitter was lying, but that was basically the last sighting anybody has seen her would be December 10th. Now her family, her Megan's dad, which was Evelyn's grandpa, last he saw Evelyn was Thanksgiving. So, but anyway, so she tells her school, I'm sure it's daycare, what would it be? Because doctor's office that Maggie changed. Pediatrician. Never mind. Yeah, the pediatrician. Sorry. So yeah, she tells the pediatrician, yeah, oh, we're gonna switch doctors. Probably because I'm one. I bet she probably started with the bruises and stuff. Oh man, if she was like abusing her, and then it just, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna switch, but they never even got any doctor requested any records. And it says, I have the screenshot, but for privacy won't post here. But law enforcement needs to check up on this ASAP. And then this is from WVLT. It says, news digital producer Alvias Harris. What does it say? Arnett, who said she is Megan's friend? Okay, so Arnett, who is supposedly Megan's friend, told the WVLT News that she has known Megan since they were in high school. Arnett said that when they talked in March 2019, Megan wanted to go back to work and was looking for a babysitter. Because remember, that would have been her last sighting, Evelyn. It would be December 10th, 2019. Because then it was 2020, February 18th, 2020. It would be the Amber Alert. Or February, was it 19th or 18th? Whatever, 19th. So just remember. Sorry, I hope I'm not confusing you. But because this is like what? Over 4 years old. Or wait, would it be over 4 years old? It'd be 4. Or no, it'd be 5. Yeah. Almost 5 years. Well, no, it would be 5 years since when the murder, like when she would have, man, yeah. Anyway. Wow. So anyway, yeah, so she said she was going back to work in March 2019 and was looking for a babysitter. Wonder if that had something to do with it. She wanted to go back to work. She was working with Hunter at that chicken shack or what, burger, whatever it was, maybe couldn't find a babysitter, didn't have money who's going to watch Evelyn, found a new boyfriend, all those factors, and she's just like a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't have anybody to watch her, and I have a new boyfriend. Let me just start a new life. It's just, she's just horrible. Anyway, Arnett said that Megan appeared to be a good mother, and she talked a lot about Evelyn. Arnett said Megan was a lifesaver. Let's see where. However, Arnett said Megan's personality changed as the search for Evelyn progressed. On February 21st, Arnett said Megan texted her, I'm scared. I was scared of the person who took her. That night, Arnett said Megan talked to her differently. Arnett said the situation doesn't add up and added that I did at first believe her, but as the interviews went on, I think she knows. I think she knows where Evelyn is, and I think she knows who has her. So this is before they found Evelyn. And it says Arnett said that Megan never spoke negatively about motherhood or about Evelyn. She never really seemed overwhelmed. Every time we talk to her, her story changes. I'm serious when I say that. Every single time, said Sullivan County Sheriff's Office Captain Andrew Siebold. Well, let me see if this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that, but Megan, was so scared and worried. I think it was Sunday when they were supposed to be searching her dad's property. She was very, oh, this is. Did I already read this? Oh, this one. Dang it, this got out of order because I redacted a name and I thought it was okay. But anyway, sorry, this is with those messages from that person that was talking about that search and thinking about her being relieved. It says, yeah, I saw that, but Megan was scared and worried. I think it was Sunday when they were supposed to be searching her dad's property. She was very relieved when the search was over and nothing came up, obviously, because that meant Evelyn was maybe still okay. But there was more to it than that with her meaning. Megan, she also made the comment to me about how, thank God, they didn't dig on my dad's property. I did inform TBI immediately that was said, when that was said, so they are investigating. But the thing is she wasn't buried, so that's weird that she said that. But I don't know, unless if she. Oh man, there's something on my lips. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to think. So if she really said that, she wasn't buried. So I mean, that's just weird because. I mean, I'm wondering if she had moved her or something. Because think about that. She was gone. I mean, December, like a couple months before she could have moved her. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I do not know. So hopefully we'll maybe find out more details at the trial. So yeah, guys, if I don't, maybe I forgot to say this, but the trial starts this Monday in a couple days. So, hopefully we'll figure out exactly. I mean, we probably will never, I don't know if we'll ever be able to like figure out exactly when it happened because she's going to lie about it. Right. And she's the only one that really knows, but okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to play one last interview with her. This would be the day. So she gets arrested on the 25th. This interview is from the 25th. But it was in the day. She gets arrested later on in the evening, right? Okay, so here's the last interview. Where did it? Yeah, this is it. Oh, here. I'll show my screen. Here we go.
Can you tell me, you said you can't take a polygraph?
No, I came here to take a polygraph, and due to policy, they cannot give me one.
Liar.
Due to their policy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't tell me why? Based on their policy, or you just don't?
Based on their policy.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit of what's going on today? Did you volunteer to come take a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't, due to their policy, they can't give me one.
All right. And how are you doing today?
I mean, not good.
Not good. Do you feel like any headway is being made with this?
How is she? She doesn't seem sad at all. She's like smiling this whole, like an actual real smile. Like this whole time she's just been smiling. And then she laughed. Now I get people could have nervous laughs, but I mean, now knowing what we know, yeah, this was very messed up. Definitely a bad thing. Yeah, lying about a lie detector. Total lie, guys. And I showed you that post. They never asked her. She never volunteered. That was a complete lie.
Like the search for Evelyn?
I know they're trying their best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fake tears are coming, right?
Last time you told me all about how you're missing her and everything. And
It just gets worse every day.
it does. Do you look at pictures of her on your phone? Do you have pictures?
She's
of her?
building them up, building up the tears.
How's you doing with your support system? I met Steven, and he was telling me that he's been trying to help you and everything.
He is. They're being really great. Better than my own family's made me at this point.
Really? Are you feeling at risk with your own family and everything? So I went to the hearing yesterday, and William McLeod said that you gave them that car, but can you tell me your side of that?
I'm not getting in on that.
No? All right. Can you talk all about what's going on with your mom? I know that must be very hard. How are you doing with everything?
Not good, but I have support now, so it's getting better.
You do? That's good. So you said in your interview yesterday with another station that you do kind of have an idea of where Evelyn is?
They're checking.
They're
They're
checking
checking now.
Okay. And did you report that before?
They're doing their best.
Okay. And I know all of this must be very hard. Can you tell me a little bit of like what you're going through, what's getting you through this tough time?
Just people who are there for me.
Do you feel like Evelyn's okay? You think so? Do you have an idea of maybe who she's with? Or
I wish I did.
did you give her to your mother? You did. So that's who was watching her. Can you tell me why she was with your mom?
Just she was supposed to babysit her. Didn't turn out that way.
And do you think, what do you think happened? Like what went wrong? She just wasn't there, or what happened?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
And why'd you come to take a polygraph?
To clear my name, but they won't give me one due to policy. I'm not going to get into all that, but
And so I know there's a lot of like rumors and stuff going around about all kinds of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to address?
no.
No.
Unless you have anything specific you want me to address.
Well, I know that there's been rumors about like you being pregnant right now, and
I'm not
hate-
getting into that.
Yeah, I know. I hate to ask you that, but like I just want to give you the opportunity to like address anything that you feel that the public should or shouldn't know. Or I know
Well,
everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant. That's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Okay, that makes sense. That must make all of this so much harder for you.
How can she
How is that-
lie?
I hate.
I don't get it because this is gonna be on TV. Like, how could she sit there and lie, knowing like it's not like the cops? I mean, they're gonna be aware that you said that. Like, what the heck? She just wow.
To ask you personal questions, but I know you're missing your child and you're pregnant.
It's just a lot to deal with at one point in time.
Are you still getting support from your grandmother? I know you mentioned
Yeah.
that before.
My grandmother's amazing.
She is. That's good. Have you been in contact with the father of either child?
With Evelyn's dad, yes. He's trying to get leave to come up here to help look for her.
Okay.
He
So,
is.
so you have been in contact with him.
Mhm.
Has he been supportive?
Yeah, it's been.
That's really good. With your other baby's dad, or have you been in contact with him? Or
Mhm.
that's,
I'm not gonna get into that.
that's okay. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't want to pressure you or anything. But so I know everyone's been in your business. Is there anything else that like you think that people are trying to? How do you think you're being portrayed through all of this?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you talk to somebody who actually knows me. If you're talking to somebody on the internet who lives 500 miles away and is just trying to speculate in on it. So if you talk to anybody who actually knows me, they know that I would never hurt Evelyn or do anything like that.
And do you think that like would you ever put her in harm's way?
No,
No. Do you think your mother would?
I don't think so.
You don't think so. So you do think that Evelyn is alive and well?
I do.
You do?
It's just finding her.
Okay. Do you think that they will find her?
I do.
You do. Can you comment on? I know we've talked a little bit about this before about the Amber Alert and like you. I know there's this whole thing with Evelyn's Law. Do you think you did something wrong when you didn't report her sooner?
Maybe, but also I trust that she was with my mom. So
Right. And so I know that the car that they were in belonged to I think your ex's mom. Do you know
it
anything
was
about that?
Hunter's car. It's just in his brother's name.
Okay. So it was in his brother's name.
Hmm.
Who do you know who reported it stolen?
I think his mom did.
Okay. And were you involved in giving them the keys or anything along those
I'm not
lines?
getting into all that because it was
Okay.
Hunter's car.
All right. So it wasn't you weren't involved.
No.
It was Hunter's car and everything. Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about what you're hoping will be done going forward?
That they find her and I get to hold her again and, you know.
Can you tell me a little bit? We know we talked about. Tell me about Evelyn again.
Sweet potatoes are her favorite food. I know I said that last time, but they really are. Anytime that I'm like, you know, kids are picky. If I can't get her to eat something, it's always Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets and sweet potatoes. That's the go-to.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And-
very sweet to everybody. Everybody. She's always happy regardless.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that your mom just like gave her to somebody else and she's probably fine? Like
That's what I think happened.
That is what you think happened. Okay. Why do you think your mom would do that?
Your guess is as good as mine. My mom's never really been the best mother, you know, and anybody you talk to, like I said, that knows me can tell you that. So,
Why did you leave her with her then?
because she's my mom, I wanted to trust her.
I understand that. And I know that I think it was your dad who reported her missing.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
So I had another question. So do you know? So when was the last time you saw her?
I don't know the day to be exact, to be honest with you.
Okay. Was it in December?
It was.
Was it
Towards the middle end.
okay? Was it around Christmas? Like, do you remember buying her Christmas presents or that?
Before Christmas.
Okay. Did you buy her Christmas presents and everything? What did you get for her?
A bunch of stuff.
Are you gonna give it to her when you see her next?
I am.
Do you have it all saved?
I can't wait.
Do you remember what you got her?
It was a bunch of stuff. Like clothes, toys, baby shark stuff.
You said that's her favorite song, right?
It is.
Yeah. So
That's the only thing that she's ever really sat down and watched is Baby Shark. So
she like a very active baby.
yeah, she actually tries to sing with it. She'll sing doo 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 and like clap her hands. It's really cute.
So I know you've been in contact with her dad. How is he doing with all of this?
About the same as I am, you know, as good as you can be. He's trying to get Lee to come up here to help find her.
Did you tell him right away when she went missing, or
Yeah.
why not?
I didn't want to think like my mom to take off, and she already did. So now we're in the situation that we are.
Right. Do you know William McLeod?
That's her boyfriend.
Did you like know him well? Like, can you tell me anything about him?
Not really, other than he's kind of sketchy.
Did you know that he was with your baby at the time? You did. But you said he was a little sketchy. Can you tell me why?
Well, I also think every man that I meet is sketchy until, you know, I mean, it just is what it is. That's how my dad raised me.
Right.
My dad raised me, you know, very strict, be like, oh, don't trust people, you know what I mean? But like for good reasons, not.
Yeah. When did your dad tell you before he reported her missing?
Yeah, and he told my mom too.
How did that conversation go?
He just told me like, hey, like, you know, if you don't bring her back, I will report it.
Okay. And so he did tell your mom.
Yeah.
Were y'all in contact at that time? Or was he just in contact with her?
A little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when she was like, oh, you're gonna regret this, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And my dad was like, well, why would you say something like that?
So like she threatened him essentially?
Yeah.
Was it over phone or text
It was over
message?
the phone.
Okay. Do you did that make you worried?
Well, I didn't know it until a few days ago, but yeah, now that I know, it's made me worry.
Yeah. So when he reported her, she threatened him. And how did you feel when you found out he reported her missing?
Well,
But I have a question. How do we know that's true? Where did that come from? That story, I mean, because I know, like, that's what we heard, that's what we thought was said. But now, like, looking back, thinking about that, how do we know that's true? Because did that come from her? The fact that she said that when he said he was going to call and report Evelyn missing, Angela said, well, you're going to regret that. Or did that come from Tom? Maybe that came from Tommy. It might have came from her dad. I don't know. Because if it came from her, it's a freaking, I don't believe it, but it probably did come from Tommy, huh? See, if that's true, that makes me think maybe she did know about it. Like maybe Megan like told her about it or something. Confided in her. But if that's the truth, then and then Megan's trying to blame her, you think Angela would be like, no, you know, if she knew. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense because unless if Angela helped in some way and then Megan's like, well, if you towel, like basically if she towels on her, then Megan could be like, well, hey, you helped me like get rid of her or whatever had happened. I don't know. I'm still like not sure how I feel about if the mom isn't like knew or helped at all. It's tricky. Oh, okay. Okay. It's been a while. I forget. Okay. So maybe that's why. We all thought that.
Glad in a way, but worried in a way.
Right. And so you found out a couple days ago that she had threatened him. And previously you said you didn't want to name names, but why did you change your mind? Just because everything that's going on?
Well, they were like, "Oh, you can't talk about the case," but like, it's my child. I just really don't care at this point. It's my baby.
And if you could say anything to whoever has Evelyn, what would you say to them?
Just to bring her back. There's $56,000 in reward money. You know, nobody gives a about getting them in trouble. We all just want the baby back. Like, I promise you, TBI does not care. You know, nobody cares. It's just getting the baby back.
Yeah.
It's not about getting whoever in trouble. It's just about getting Evelyn back.
And how are you feeling? I know last time you were very confident about getting her back. How are you feeling?
I'm so confident they'll get her back.
You are.
I am.
And so have you been coming a lot and trying to help with the investigation?
As much as they'll let me be here.
And how have you been helping? Just providing information?
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
That kind of thing.
So I know that yesterday the sheriff was kind of like, oh, people need to stop organizing their own search parties. Can you tell me, like, did you think that was good or bad?
They just don't want them tampering with evidence, and I get that, but really I don't see the problem with one as long as nobody is tampering with evidence or like going like trespassing, you know what I mean? I think that was just his main concern.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, if you find anything, don't touch it. You know, if you find her alive and well, obviously, like, you know, go grab her, go get her. But like, you know, if you find like clothes that you're like, oh, well, this sounds like what she was wearing last, just don't touch it, you know. Yeah. Call law enforcement immediately.
Right. Can you remind me again what she was wearing the last time?
It was a little hot pink tracksuit with a hot pink bow and shoes that match.
Cute. Did your mom have any of her other outfits with her?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you exactly which ones, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Have you noticed anything else of her stuff missing?
No.
She didn't take any of like her stuffed animals or anything with her?
No.
I know this all must be very hard for you. How do you think the public's being supportive? Because I know like people are trying to offer up reward money, but there's also rumors. Like how are you feeling about all of that?
Well, I don't care as long as they're trying to help with my daughter. I don't really, you know, care what people say online. You know, I appreciate them helping and contribute to the reward money. You know, maybe somebody will come forward, but you know, the important thing is that it's just out there. People know who she is, what she looks like, and they're looking.
Mm-hmm. And last time you told me that you wouldn't miss her if you saw her because she was the cutest baby.
She is.
She is.
Nobody can convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what she looks like.
She's very sweet. She's about 2 feet tall. I might be a couple inches off. Around 28 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks exactly like her dad. But she has my eyes, so that's all that matters. But she looks exactly like him, and she's just very, very sweet. Mm-hmm. She has dimples.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish that they could give you a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't.
They can't.
Due to policy.
How are you holding up? What's getting you through this?
Just knowing that they're working as hard as they can, that I will be with her.
You will be. And I know I've asked you before, but you're fully confident that she's fine, right?
Right.
Is that out of hope or just trust in the system, or what?
Both.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add that you think that the public should know how they can help?
Just keep looking.
Just keep looking. Okay. And do you think that people will find her?
Hopefully. If law enforcement does, somebody out there will.
Yeah.
But I'm fully confident in the team up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was on mute. Okay, so what do you guys think so far? I don't know if I'm I don't know yet. I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably just do highlights and And yeah, I don't think I'll do the whole thing because it's, it's a few weeks long. I don't think that's a big commitment. So I'll probably just do highlights for it, and like maybe hopefully a couple times a week I could talk about it, because like when I don't cover a trial, which I don't cover them that much, I'll watch them like be able to skip through parts or watch them like double speed to get through it in half the time, which I would if I was live streaming, I wouldn't be able to do that. But yeah, so I'll probably just do that and just play highlights or whatever, if that's okay. Yeah. Well, it was asphyxiation, Chiwi. So like she put her in alive and then she asphyxiated. Well, we're gonna listen to the medical examiner. Supposedly she was alive when she put her in that trash can. It's crazy to think about. It really is. Okay, so upside down, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so that's their interview. So we went through all the interviews. Oh, okay. Now I didn't know I took myself off instead of that. I think she was 16 when the murder happened, and then she turned 17. I'm trying to look for her birthday, to see, because I could be wrong, but maybe she was 17 when it happened. But either or, I mean, she was 16 or 17 when it happened. I mean, that's young. Now she would be like what, like in her 20s, yeah, early 20s. But yeah. Okay, so let me trial, not trail. Right here, my child hurts. Oh, I know. I'm trying to find her birthday. So maybe it was 17. I think by the time maybe the Amber Alert, she was 17. But I think if you go back to when it happened and back in this, if December, would she have been 16 or something? I don't know why in my head I feel like when it happened she was 16 and then she turned 17 after all that happened. I don't know, but either 16 or 17. Are you sure unnamed? I'm trying to find. Can you send me like something of where it shows her birthday? Because I even was looking up her records, and in her records, it freaking doesn't even give her birthday. I was looking it up when I was watching these interviews because I was trying to find like how old she was. I don't know. Oh, 17 during pregnancy. Okay. 16 turns. Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, thank you, baby. Though the baby, Evelyn was only 15 months. 15 months, like a year and 3 months, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so hold on. Let me see what else we got here because I do have because I even have stuff like I want to get into like a little bit of like William and Angela because I mean still like there's still people that think they're involved, so that's why I have some of that stuff, like some of their videos that I wouldn't mind going through too. Okay, so let's actually do this real quick. Let's go over the charges. Okay. Well, this one actually, I don't think I'm gonna. Oh, this is just motion to increase bond. Let me see if there's anything interested in it, and then I'll bring up all the charges. So it says February 25th. So they're talking about motion to increase bond, trying to get it to increase it. So it says on February 25th, the defendant was charged with false report. And let's see, on March 2nd, 2020, the defendant waived the case to the criminal court. On February 18th, referral was made reporting that Evelyn, a minor age, approximately 1 year of age, was missing and had not been seen since before Christmas 2019. The defendant is the mother and legal custodian of Evelyn. The defendant was interviewed by law enforcement and made multiple false statements regarding the possible location of the child. As a result of the defendant's multiple statements, Law enforcement expended tremendous resources in following possible leads and investigating areas that proved to be false. On March 6, 2020, law enforcement searched the out property of the Boswell family. At the time, a child's body was located by law enforcement in an outbuilding on the property. The child appeared to be of the same age and appearance as the missing child, Evelyn, and was wearing clothing that the defendant previously described as belonging to Evelyn. The child's body is currently at the pathology department at East Tennessee State University awaiting an autopsy. Further additional items collected from the outbuilding will be transported to the crime lab at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The above information was not known to the General Sessions Court on March 2nd, 2020, when the bond amount was set. So basically, they're saying that wasn't known. So they set the bond up. They set the bond amount, but Evelyn wasn't found till March 6th. So there's like the part of this is like, hey, like that wasn't known when they set the bond amount. So they're trying to like the state's trying to increase that, right? Anyway, it says additionally, the defendant is not employed and does not have a residence. And should she post bond, the defendant currently has a bond of $25,000. Given the recent developments in the investigation, it is the state's position that the defendant is a flight risk. The state is aware that the defendant has made out-of-town trips in proximity to the relevant dates in this investigation. The defendant also has contacts out of state. The state would waiver or I don't know, the state would ever that the defendant poses a substantial risk of harm to the community if she's released. So they request the court to increase the defendant's bond. This is the response. So this would be the counsel for the defendant says she's a lifelong resident, employed up to being incarcerated, has extensive family ties and relationships in Sullivan County, no prior criminal record, no record of failing to appear, no record of flight to avoid prosecution. The nature of the offense, false report does not indicate a risk of flight, has no prior criminal record. But anyway, so basically they're saying there should be no threat. But that was just her what's his name? Attorney. So, but anyway, so here is what I really wanted to read though, her charges real quick. Okay. So we'll go over these real quick. So so count 1 is felony murder. And it says she did unlawfully, feloniously kill Evelyn Mae Boswell. Said killing being committed in the perpetration of or attempt to perpetrate the felony crime of aggravated CA. Okay, and the felony 2 is basically felony murder. Says the same thing, but these are the ones. Okay, count 3 is aggravated CA. Says the state, okay, says finding the presentment did unlawfully, feloniously, knowingly, and other than by accidental means treat Evelyn Mae Boswell, a child under 8 years of age, in such a manner as to inflict serious bodily injury, contrary to Tennessee Code, blah, blah, blah. So that was for the CA. Now we have child neglect. Basically same thing. And then tampering with evidence. It says on or about December 2019 in the state of county aforesaid and before the finding of this presentment did unlawfully, knowingly, and feloniously alter, destroy, or conceal evidence with the intent to impair its availability, verity, legibility as evidence in the investigation. Megan Boswell, knowing that an investigation was pending or in the progress. So basically, okay, so then we have false report. On February 18th in the state and country, blah, 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 county. Okay, so she make a statement in response to a legitimate inquiry by Sullivan County Sheriff's Detective Tracy Howrez concerning a material fact about an offense or incident within the officer's concern. To wit, the disappearance of the defendant's infant daughter, Evelyn Boswell, knowing that the statement was false and with the intent to obstruct or hinder the officer from preventing the offense or incident from occurring. Said the false statement concerning Evelyn, here's one of the false statements she said, is the defendant's claim that her infant child was with the child's father, Ethan Perry, contrary to and against the peace and dignity. So that was one of the lies. He's with Ethan. She wasn't. Okay. Now count 7 is false report. I'm going to skip all this and just go to the specific thing. So, knowing that the statement was false, blah, 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 the incident occurring, and said false statement concerning the defendant's alleged lack of knowledge of the whereabouts of her infant daughter and her alleged efforts to locate her daughter. So basically saying she didn't know where she was. And then, here's another one, false report. And it says the said false statement concerning the alleged last physical contact that the defendant had with her infant daughter and Ethan Perry's alleged refusal to respond to her texts and voicemails regarding her daughter and following an argument with Ethan about the custody arrangements concerning her daughter. Yeah, so she made a false statement. It has to do with that. Huh. And then, okay, so knowing that the statement was false with the intent to obstruct or hinder the officer from preventing the offense or incident from occurring or continuing to occur, the said false statement concerning the defendant's alleged last physical contact with her infant daughter and the defendant's alleged lack of knowledge of the whereabouts of her infant daughter, even though she had concerns that her daughter was possibly injured. So that some of these aren't saying anything specific, but has to do with some of the lies she was saying. This one says, here's a specific one. It says, the said false statement concerning the alleged time frame of when the defendant gave her infant daughter to Ethan Perry to keep since she could not handle her daughter anymore, and Ethan Perry's alleged threats to take the defendant to court to address the custody of their daughter. So that was a lie. Count 11 is a false report, and that is the said statement concerning the defendant's alleged so I just want to read the first part to make sure I'm not missing anything, but alleged claim that she last saw her infant daughter in the custody of Ethan Perry on December 26th, 2019, and that she had not contacted the police to report her missing child on the advice of Angela Boswell, the defendant's mother. So then she says, she was with Ethan. Yeah, Evelyn was with Ethan December 26th, but my mom told me not to say anything. Okay, whatever. And then another false report where the false statement concerning the defendant's mother, Angela Boswell, possibly having her infant daughter, but refusing to share with the defendant the location of her daughter and whether she had custody of the defendant's daughter. Okay. That's count 12. Now we got count 13 is Angela Boswell allegedly having taken her infant. So the said false statement concerning the defendant's mother, Angela Boswell, allegedly have taken her infant daughter in mid-December of 2019 and refusing to tell the defendant of her daughter's location, and that she allegedly did not call the police to report her infant daughter missing out of fear that her mother, Angela Boswell, would harm Evelyn. And then count 14, false report. False statement concerning the defendant's mother, Angela Boswell, having allegedly taken her infant daughter because Angela Boswell believed that the defendant owed her money and that the defendant's mother, Angela Boswell, had allegedly told her that Evelyn Boswell would not be returned to the defendant until the money was paid. I forgot about that one. So then she's saying, yeah, my mom took her and said, nope, she owed me money and I'm not going to give her till it's paid. Oh, my Lord. Count 15. The said false statement concerning her mother, Angela Boswell, allegedly having Evelyn at an unknown location, and that despite the efforts of the defendant to find her infant daughter, she allegedly did not know the whereabouts of her infant daughter and did not have any additional information to provide to law enforcement in their attempts to find the missing child. And then allegedly giving, the defendant's mother, Angela. So remember, this is stuff, these are all what Megan is saying as false reports. That the defendant's mother, Angela, allegedly having given the defendant's infant daughter, Evelyn Boswell, to another person who Angela refused to name, and that her infant child was safe and would have a better life with the unknown person than the defendant. Okay, so those, I think that's the last one, I think. Oh, no, hold on, that's not the last one. Count 17. Dang it. So the disappearance, oh yeah, because there's 19, I think. The disappearance of the defendant's infant daughter, Evelyn, knowing that such report or statement is false and with the intent to obstruct or hinder the officer from preventing the offense or incident from occurring or continuing to occur. The said false statement concerning the death of her infant child and defendant's claim that her child's death resulted from either her or Hunter Wood, that was her boyfriend at the time, rolling over onto the child while sleeping, and that the defendant did not know the location of the child's body. So now she's saying, oh, let's blame my boyfriend, Hunter, at the time. Oh my Lord. She blamed everybody. Angela, the father, Ethan, freaking, now we got Hunter. Count 18. That this is abuse of a corpse. So knowingly and feloniously and without legal privilege, physically mistreat a corpse in the manner offensive to the sensibility of an ordinary person. And then count 19 is failure to report a death under suspicious, unusual, or unnatural circumstances. It says knowingly and feloniously failed to report the death of her infant daughter, Evelyn Boswell, to the county medical examiner, where the death was from violence, trauma, or in any suspicious, unusual, unnatural manner. Okay. So that's her charges, right? Now we will, I'm debating if I want to go over, so would you guys rather read the chief medical examiner's like article about what she says, or do you want to watch the testimony about basically the cause of death and stuff like that with Evelyn, how she was found and how she died? So there's like a 20-minute testimony we can listen to. Watch. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me get it. It's a little hard because she's got a little accent and the sound's a little hard, but we'll try it. And for some reason we're having trouble hearing, we can just read it, but we'll try it. I always never know. Okay. But I never know like how, if you guys are going to be able to hear it. Okay. Like what it's going to, if you're going to understand it, but let's see. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. I just I cut off the beginning where they go over like, her history, for sometimes it takes like 5 minutes to be like, well, where have you worked past? I kind of skipped all that and cut it right to when they start talking about Evelyn, or things that pertain to this case, basically. Okay, here we go. It might be really loud, so just hold on. I don't know how it's going to sound when it comes.
And all those items are detailed in your report.
That's correct.
And that includes the autopsy report of Dr. Schmidt. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, based on your review of the case and your experience and training, did you form an opinion about the cause and manner of death of Evelyn Boswell.
Yes.
And can you state that within a reasonable degree of medical certainty?
Yes.
And what is your opinion as to the cause of death?
So I stated that I was a little bit more specific with Dr. Schmidt who performed the autopsy, and I stated that the cause of death was asphyxia with 4 different mechanisms being present in the manner that was homicide.
And you refer to in the asphyxia as it's a combination of positional, confined space, traumatic compressions, and medical via smothering with aluminum foil over the head as the tops of asphyxia. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I called the last what you described as a mechanical, yes.
And can you just briefly define those terms for the court for the purpose of this hearing?
So the asphyxial death essentially means that there was a lack of oxygen that prevented the child from breathing and caused her death. The mechanisms and the 4 main mechanisms that I listed, positional is because she was upside down in a trash can with the inability of the lungs and the diaphragm to function properly. Confined space because there was a trash can with a really very limited capacity that was actually also inside the trash can. She was inside the trash bag, and then on top of that, she was also wrapped in a blanket, which would create confined space asphyxia with the lack of sufficient oxygen coming to her. And finally, mechanical and traumatic sometimes can overlap, but mechanical means there was a mechanical obstruction to the airway, upper airway, which pertains to the foil and the blanket being wrapped around the head tightly. And then traumatic meaning that because of the bend and a reverse S shape that she was sort of compressed in the can, actually that would cause compression not only on the diaphragm but also on the chest wall, the ribs and the intercostal muscle that would not actually move efficiently to enable her to breathe. So that would be final traumatic asphyxia, inability for the chest to expand.
And you have reviewed the autopsy report, as you stated, of Dr. Schmidt. Did you agree with her opinions and her findings?
Yes, I agreed. It was a well-done autopsy. The description, there was nothing that I could object to. Was correct and detailed. And the only, I guess, slight difference is in the sense that Dr. Schmidt called the cause of death kind of homicidal cause of death, left it kind of open with the focus on essentially asphyxial component, and I just went a little more specific because of the way she was positioned, packaged, and wrapped and found at the scene.
Is it your opinion, within a reasonable degree of medical certainty, that Evelyn was not killed by being rolled over by an adult?
No, she was too old for that. I've never seen a case of a 14-month-old being rolled over by an adult of average size.
So when we're talking about asphyxiation, we're not talking about that when a child's rolled over by an adult.
No, we're not talking about accidental asphyxia. Accidental asphyxia happens in our field, actually, unfortunately, quite often in small infants with unsafe sleeping environment conditions. But she's too old for that, she's too big for that, and the environment described how she was found was not conducive to that sort of rollover death. Now,
I want to talk to you in general before we get to 12 to 26. I want to ask you a few questions in general about the photographs that we have here. And you do have copies of all those photographs of exhibit 1 through 26. Is that correct?
Yes.
So let me ask you, how important were the photos in assisting you in determining the cause and manner of death?
Well, they're crucial, and whenever I testify in court and asking that question, I always say that the forensic autopsy cannot be done in vacuum. Forensic autopsy actually starts at the scene, and the investigative information and the scene information is actually crucial, not only how to, not just to make it a case of medical examining jurisdiction, but also how to conduct the investigation, and then especially is important in determining the manner of death.
And I want to ask you, how did the photos, and again, in general sense, assist you in forming an opinion as to the manner of death? Let me step back we talked about the manner of death, but what was the cause of death? We talked about the cause of death, but not the manner of death. And what was your finding within a reasonable degree of concern?
The manner of death was a homicide because, unlike accidental asphyxia, Evelyn could not put herself in that particular position, had to be action of an adult to create that environment for positional confined space mechanical and traumatic asphyxia.
So, in a general sense, how did those photographs, more in a general sense, help you form an opinion regarding manner of death and cause of death?
So the photographs, scene photographs, and the autopsy photographs are actually our evidence. That's how we objectively document what we describe and what we find. And then in cases of asphyxia, which are always complex cases to work up, they're really crucial in explaining and detailing the not just the cause, but then the mechanism of asphyxia.
Did the photographs show the means and manner of the placement of the body in the trash can?
That's correct.
And did they also show the location of the body in relation to the trash can?
Yes.
And the position of the body in the trash can?
That's correct.
And the location of the blanket that you've referred to, it's been referred to in previous testimony that you found. Is that
That's correct.
And the location of aluminum foil and the amount of aluminum foil?
Yes. And how it was applied,
The
yes.
photographs showed the size of the baby, the child, and the location of the trash can in relation to the child. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
And the condition of the body at the time the child was discovered.
Yes, and that's why we always say they have to be done sequentially, detailed in orderly fashion, because that's how investigation actually proceeds, and the documentation has to be accurate.
And because this child was in a trash can with other items, there was a decompositional byproducts, and those photographs helped you see what they were and their contact with the foil and the blanket and the effect that would have on the body. Is that correct?
That's correct, because unfortunately there was advanced decomposition present, and with that there's a lot of artifact that can be created, but that can also shift and change the relationships between these objects and the body, and that's very important to document because the purge fluid, the fat liquefaction, the presence of maggot larvae and the pupa, and their activity actually, or documentation of their activity is very important to be seen and understood, because that can actually change and kind of shift some of those coverings and create potentially false picture how really she was originally kind of packaged in that trash can.
The photos relevant to establishing the layers of materials on the child.
Absolutely, and that's why our approach is always, whether it's done at the scene or whether it's done in a forensic center, all those elements have to be taken with the body under the jurisdiction of the medical examiner, and then approached layer by layer and photographed as such.
Now, when I ask you your opinion, if you have one, would the photographs assist jurors in determining the manner of cause of death?
Absolutely, I think they're crucial because the reading of a report or listening to me and Dr. Schmidt talk about it, I don't think it really would create a proper picture of what was really found at the scene. And especially because the trash can argument can always be found that trash cans and trash bags can have foil, and they can have all different other elements and debris from maybe food or whatever. That's why I think it's very important to see that these are all real elements associated with her death, and then they have to be present and shown as such for the jury to understand how they were originally applied and the shift that happened, why it happened, and that can be explained to them.
And with these photographs, Agent Fraley talked about the progression in stages and collection, photographing the evidence of this child. Would the photographs assist in understanding that progression in those stages of evidence retrieval, collection? Would it assist them in that manner?
Absolutely, and they also show that nothing was staged, nothing was made up. This is all real, in real time removal of the evidence, documentation of that evidence, and submission of the evidence under the chain of custody, because that's another important part of the workup of a case like that the chain of custody is maintained, and that the documentation is proper, and it can be objectively then retrieved at any point in time, including the legal proceedings.
Would the photograph assist jurors in determining elements of crime, things like whether it was accidental or whether it was intentional?
Absolutely, yes.
And would it help them visualize what you've described from a testimony that's been elicited by either state or the defense attorney with the court?
Yes.
And would your testimony, in your opinion, be by itself be adequate to articulate your findings before a jury as an expert witness?
I think a lot of those elements would be lost because I'm, for example, I'm a very visual person, and unless I see it myself, I might miss some important elements of the entire case, how she was found and what was really involved in the recovery of the body, and therefore also understanding of 4 different mechanisms of asphyxia. I think all of that might get lost in just me talking, especially I'm a fast talker. And I think maybe that would definitely affect their ability to follow and understand exactly what was really involved in the death of Evelyn.
Now, as to photos 1 through 11, they've been stipulated and they're not an issue. But I want you to, if you can, describe how they relate, again, in the general sense, to the remaining photos that are that are an issue. If you could explain how those first 11 kind of set the other 12 to 26 in context.
So in the forensic field in general, there's a big discussion as far as how the evidence can be presented, or the findings of the scene can be presented, and then especially to forensic pathologists. And that's why there are certain laws and there are certain rules in our field that number one, the state of Tennessee, or any state for that matter that has a medical examiner system, the moment, I know it kind of sounds pretty cold, but the body, the serum belongs to the medical examiner and cannot be manipulated without the medical examiner, forensic pathologist being present. And that's actually one of the reasons why we do the way we do it. With that, that reassures the court or the legal system that things are done under the supervision of the individual who is in charge of their body, and that's the medical examiner and forensic pathologist. And then the next level is that how I'm going to actually describe that the child was not just swallowed in the blanket, but actually it was covered in a blanket with the face being completely covered in a thick fleece blanket. I can talk about it, but I think the jury has to see that to understand that this is not just haphazard blanket on top of a child or swallowed child. This is actually child whose face and head are wrapped in a blanket that is actually on top of foil that also wraps the upper part of the body, including the head, very tightly. And I think that needs to be shown to the jury to understand actually the gravity of the situation, how she was found, and why would that pertain to, for example, mechanical mechanism of asphyxia. And then, of course, positioning of that body, how she was found, not just upside down, but in that contorted position that would prevent her from breathing. And just kind of overall, that disposal of this child, I think, is remarkable. For forensic pathologists, just to see a decomposed child in an autopsy room on the autopsy table would pretty much create, depending on the case, the different findings. I think the scene, especially on asphyxial death, is crucial to show how all of that ties into the cause and manner of death, and especially elements of the report that are just purely objective medical findings. And I think that's why the jury needs to see the scene and all the kind of levels and then phases of body recovery.
And you heard Agent Frederick's testimony that he came and he moved the trash can simply from the inside door to the porch, And then forensic pathology came and directed it. And those photographs, like in one, shows it's in a trash can. Is that the fact that it shows the progression, the stage, and the location of the body from the initial examination?
So I'm keeping that playing. And I was gonna I'm bringing up the article so we could kind of just read a simple it is hard. I am having trouble absorbing what she's saying. Now I know if I really tried, I could probably hear it, but just to listen and try to do it, I don't know. I'm having trouble. Not impossible if I really focus, but so I'm gonna bring that up while we play the last minute and 30. Well, yeah, minute and 36, and then we'll read a part of that article. But did you see what that said? 4 places, 4 different cause of death was asphyxia in 4 different places. How freaking crazy.
Those photographs, are those important to set up what you see in 12 through 26?
That's correct. Yes, so there was a minimal manipulation until the medical examiner came in and directed the body recovery.
Is it also important the fact that those photographs, if you have an opinion, that they show the body with accuracy and clarity? Those photographs, in your opinion, for your purpose of testifying today, and when you begin to make your findings, did you find the photographs that they were clear and accurate based on the reports and information you had?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to start with photo 12, and Your Honor, I'm going to ask you, do you want me to go question her about photo 12? You can have cross-examination after, or do you want me to get through all the questions, all the photographs, and then have Mr. Scholes come and ask collectively afterwards? I think it goes through all of them. Okay. Mr. Scholes. Come back. Okay. I just want to make sure. I can interrupt you. I apologize. Mr. Boswell has been talking to during his testimony. Part of our problem that we indicated earlier was that she's not gone through these pictures. She would like the opportunity to do that. And she's asking if we hold the testimony and allow her the opportunity to at least look through these pictures.
That's what I couldn't understand. She said before the testimony, Megan was asking before the testimony if she could look over the pictures, I guess. But what I don't understand is what testimony they're talking about. You talking about before they do the cross-examine her? I don't know. Because he's asking her the questions the state, and then he's asking, or is that the state? Wait a minute. I don't even know. This guy right here. Is that his or her lawyer or them? I don't know, to be honest, because I know this is her lawyer. But anyway, so she's asking to go over. Hold on. Yeah, this isn't the trial yet, guys. But she's asking to could she take a minute to go over some of the pictures and stuff and this stuff. So they stop the court so they could do that. So I don't know. I don't know what testimony they're talking about. Let me see if I could hear. It was hard to understand what he was saying. Let's see if we could hear what he's.
Problem that we indicated. I apologize. Mr. Boswell is. I think it goes through all of them. Okay. Mr. Scholes. Come back. Okay. I just want to make sure. I can interrupt you. I apologize. Mr. Boswell has been talking to during his testimony. Part of our problem that we indicated earlier was that she's not gone through these pictures.
So he said, Mrs. Boswell has been talking to me through this testimony, right? I think she must have been talking to her during this testimony. Is that what he said? And part of the problem is she hasn't got a chance to go through the pictures.
She would like the opportunity to do that.
She'd like the opportunity to do that.
She's asking if we hold the testimony and allow her the opportunity to at least look through these pictures.
Oh, because the testimony is not, he's not even done going through testimony. Can we hold the testimony so she has the opportunity to go through the pictures? Okay.
So that's 15-minute break.
So they took a 15-minute break. Okay. So that's that. Now let's go over the article real quick because it was hard. It's hard. It was hard to understand this. So she says 4 different places, asphyxia in 4 different places. She also said that it was, in her opinion, a homicide. The TBI agent Brian Fraley's earlier testimony, which I actually have that too, the investigator, or wait, I don't know if that's, yeah, I think that's the same guy. He said that Megan Boswell had previously said Evelyn died in an accident while co-sleeping with her and her then boyfriend. Malusnik Polchan, which is the testimony we were just watching, refuted that statement, saying Evelyn was too old at the time of her death to have died in such a manner. Remember, she said Hunter rolled over while he was sleeping, and she died because he rolled over on her. Which, of course, after she's arrested and finds out, oh, it's asphyxia, let's make up a story where it looks like, oh, yeah, it was just an accident. He just rolled over on her and I got scared. And anyway, and the environment was not conducive to that type of death. According to Polchan, there was a mechanical obstruction to Evelyn's airway in the form of foil, and a blanket had been tightly wrapped around her head. Polchan testified that being in the trash can in which she was found was another form of asphyxiation. She went on to testify that the photos being discussed as potential evidence give a complete picture of manner in which Evelyn died, as well as the placement and condition of her body, which had started to decompose. At that point, Sproles asked the court to hold a further testimony until Boswell could see the photos for herself. After a 15-minute recess, the court resumed. When Boswell re-entered the courtroom, she appeared to be crying. Oh, save the tears, Megan. Polchan continued to testify that the photos show active signs of decomposition and the position of Evelyn's body in the trash can, which was placed in such a way that it caused further asphyxiation. She described the way in which the toddler was placed as an unnatural folding of the body. Polchan, or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Polchan also said the onesie that Evelyn was wearing was not zipped, which was why part of her leg and foot were exposed. Fraley said previously he found Evelyn's remains in the trash can after spotting her leg and foot. In her experience, Polchan has only ever seen one case of a child around Evelyn's age dying after an adult laid on top of them. That case was ruled homicide, she said. She went on to say Evelyn was well developed at the time of her death, further disputing Megan Boswell's claim that she died in an accidental co-sleeping incident. Polchan described several of the photos as disturbing, particularly Exhibit 23, which she said shows how tightly a thick fleece blanket was wrapped around Evelyn's head. She went into further detail on how creatures like flies and maggots had damaged the body during its decomposition. During Sproul's cross-examination, which remember Sproul's is Megan's lawyer, during his cross-examination of Polchan, the medical examiner, he referenced other photos. She said those photos, which were not disputed as evidence, are not sufficient for a jury to understand the severity of the asphyxiation and alleged murder. They also do not show the level of effort it took to remove the layers and other elements from Evelyn's remains. Well, on the stand, Polchan said the infestation of maggots and decomposition prevented examiners from seeing if blunt force trauma was a factor in Evelyn's death, but the skeleton did not show damage. In his closing argument, District Attorney General Barry Stabis said the photos in question do not show open wounds, blood, or facial expressions. He argued all photos in a homicide case are disturbing, but these are not overly gruesome without providing the full scope of the situation. Sproles disagreed, saying that the fact that a forensic pathologist thought the images were disturbing was telling. He said he believes the jury would have an emotional response to seeing them, which would hinder their ability to make a rational decision. So I see. So he's saying no, and then the Gary Stabis is saying no, that they're not overly disturbing or whatever. So it sounds like, the state's trying to get the jury to be able to see him. And her defense is trying to get him not to see him. So Judge James Goodwin looked over each photo individually after hearing closing arguments. One photo, Exhibit 16, was omitted after Goodwin said there was something that absolutely bothers him, making him worry about the jury members. Another Exhibit 14 was disallowed after Goodwin said it was cumulative with another. So, okay. Exhibit 20 through 22 were ruled cumulative and were not allowed. Exhibit 23, described as a close-up of Evelyn's face after the layers had been removed, was disallowed. Goodwin asked for Exhibits 25 to be presented in black and white due to some details within. Of the photos in question, Exhibits 12, 13, 15, 17, 18, 19, 24, 25, and 26 were allowed to be used as evidence. Goodwin said the next court date was December 16th, 1:30 p.m. Okay. So, yeah. Now let's read, because this one, he doesn't have an accent, but the sound is still bad, which I don't know. Maybe we'll watch it at the end, but let me just read what he says. This is what the TBI agent describes finding Evelyn. Okay. A special agent with Tennessee TBI Friday described events leading up to the discovery of 15-month-old Evelyn on the family's property, right? Agent Fraley took the stand September 23rd, hearing to discuss the use of certain photos as evidence, and revealed that Megan Boswell's father had requested that the agency search in a storage structure on the property. So that tells me right there that the first time they searched, they must not have searched that. And then when they came back, he requested, hey, search that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like people that are saying they think that, Angela put it there because how did they miss it the first time? Maybe they didn't, they probably didn't search that. I don't know. Let's see if he says anything. We received a call from the defendant's father talking about property, a storage shed on the property, Fraley said. He believed it may have been valuable for us to look in it and search. So we did respond and search that. And there was a playhouse behind that. We found a body in that playhouse in the trash can. Oh, in that playhouse. So so it sounds like the trash can was in the playhouse. Fraley said that the body he found matched the description of Evelyn, who had been described as wearing a purple fleece onesie with penguins on it and wrapped in a gray and white blanket. He said he discovered Evelyn's body in a black trash bag after removing layers of several other trash bags from the playhouse. I observed a leg and a foot attached on top of this trash, wrapped in that same described fleece blanket, Fraley said. It was consistent with an infant of the described age of the missing victim. Following the discovery, Fraley estimated that an hour passed before a doctor arrived at the scene. During that time, Fraley said multiple other agencies and law enforcement arrived due to the significance of the case. The Polkin, chief medical examiner Knox in Anderson County, said autopsy pictures of Evelyn showed an active decomposition that had been occurring in a confined space. The forensic pathologist testified that Evelyn's body had been unnaturally folded, and other photographs showed her body had been wrapped so tightly that her facial features flattened. And just to think that she was alive, they said, like when she was, so she was basically alive when she was wrapped so tightly. Oh my God. Polkin said pictures will help a jury determine if the death was accidental or intentional. She said jurors should see how tightly Evelyn had been wrapped in a blanket and foil. Polkin revealed Evelyn's cause of death in her testimony, asphyxiation. Before this announcement at Friday's hearing, Fraley said Megan told investigators Evelyn died when co-sleeping with Megan and her boyfriend. She claimed that it was an accidental death. She and her boyfriend at the time were sleeping in bed, and they woke up at the morning when that she was when they woke up that morning that she was unresponsive, that she had been smothered, Fraley said. Always putting it on somebody else, right? Always somebody else. I was trying to say Hunter, Fraley's entire testimony can be viewed at the top of this history, of this story. Sorry, oh my Lord. So it says previous testimony, TBI agents unveiled that Megan had told authorities she knew Evelyn was dead a week before Fraley uncovered the toddler's remains on a family member's Muddy Creek property. Also, at Friday's hearing, Megan requested to part ways with her defense attorney, Brad Sproles. Megan faces a slew of charges, including 2 counts of felony murder, aggravated CA. We already read all this. That's crazy though, because he actually, we're gonna watch a few news clips where he talks. That Sproles, it seems like he really believes her story or her innocence or something. Wonder why she would request to have him gone. I think that's the best you're gonna get. Are you kidding me? Why would... All right, hold on. All right, so that's... Oh, man. That's even crazy. All right, let me see what else I got here that I wanted to share. I have a compilation of a bunch of news clips I wanted to share too, but let me see if there's any more. Oh, yeah, look. Oh, that's what we just read. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's actually the article we just read. Okay, so what is this? This is a part of the affidavit complaint. I have a little cropped screenshot I had. It says on 2/18/2020, I received a Department of Children's Services referral stating that a minor child, 15 months, had not been seen since before Christmas. Myself and CPA's caseworker James Lewis made contact with Megan Boswell, mother and sole legal custodian of the minor child, Evelyn, and asked her where we could locate Evelyn. So the grandfather calls it in, and then they contact Megan to be like, okay, where's Evelyn, right? Megan told us that Evelyn was with the child's father, Ethan. She further stated that she was supposed to meet him on 2/19/2019 at 4 p.m. at Ingalls parking lot in Colonial Heights to exchange custody. After further investigation, they determined that Ethan is actively enlisted in the United States Army and is presently stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and did not have possession of Evelyn. Through investigation, it was determined that Megan made the false statement to law enforcement in response to a legitimate inquiry by law enforcement. So yeah, that's all I have because I just had a little cutouts thing. But all right, so let me play. Look at this mugshot. I remember going over one of the videos and there was I had a few different mugshots of her boyfriend, but this one, I don't know why this creeps me a little bit, but it's probably almost seems like it's maybe meth induced type look, but that's Wood. That's Hunter Wood. This guy, the one that she supposedly was, that she said rolled over on him. This guy right here, the one that was her boyfriend at the time. But anyway, here's a couple pics of, that's her and Evelyn. That's Megan. This actually was Tommy's girlfriend. Actually, somebody posted, anyone else find that weird that she's in her 20s and calling herself Evelyn's step grandmother and how she's active all of a sudden? So supposedly, yeah, this would have been Megan. So Evelyn's grandfather, Megan's father, the one that called it in, his girlfriend at that time at one point. I don't know if they're still together. Probably not. Here's a couple. Here's all of them. We got the grandmother, the grandfather. These are all mug shots. Megan, and then the brother, Megan's brother. All those are all just mug shots of them. Here's the grandfather. So yeah, that's But I have like I said, I'm going to play a news clip compilation in a minute. I just wanted to show some pictures of Evelyn. Oh, and here's That's the biological father, Ethan and Evelyn. Ethan and Evelyn again. And then Ethan. This is the Ethan. Okay. Oh wait, here's a couple other pictures of Evelyn. Two feet tall, 28 pounds, so little. And then we got McLeod, which we're going to watch a few things on him, and Angela. Yeah, okay. Did I already show this one? Yeah, probably. Here's some more. This is more recent pictures of her in one of her court hearings. I mean, we could watch all of her hearings, but I wasn't going to play those because there's a lot of them and nothing much really happened, you know, so I figured we'll watch the trial and then, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play this news clip compilation now. All right. Let me get it. Wait, did I already read all these? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Where is it? Here it is. It's just like a compilation. It starts like, you know, at the beginning, like there are some old clips and stuff. So, all right, here we go. Whoa. Forgot to share. Here we go. It's a lot kind of loud, guys. Probably louder than me. But
what do you guys think happened? Can you comment on that?
I don't know what happened, but I'm the one called DCS and got this started.
And why did you call DCS?
Because my granddaughter, she never did come back, and I just don't know what happened to her.
When was the last time you had seen her?
Thanksgiving. We were up to his house. We all had Thanksgiving dinner.
So you hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I know some reports say that it was like early December, so yours was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Had you been in communication with them at all? Like, I know you hadn't seen her, but what about talking?
No, I hadn't talked to her enough. I stayed busy, and I talked to my ex-wife, and I told her, I said, if Evelyn don't come home, I said, I'm going to do something about it. And she said, you better not do that. You're going to regret this.
Evelyn's grandmother, pictured here, Angela Boswell, was arrested in North Carolina for stolen property. The car she was driving was listed as stolen. Boswell was arraigned in court in Sullivan County but didn't enter a plea. She is due back in court on March 4th. And Evelyn's father, Ethan Perry, is talking about his missing daughter for the first time, saying he's concerned for her safety and is keeping close tabs on the investigation. He says he wants to keep his privacy as the case progresses.
Tonight, the investigation into the disappearance and death of the Sullivan County toddler is moving forward after two people connected with that case appeared before a judge. Today, Evelyn Boswell was reported missing back in February, prompting TBI to issue an Amber Alert. Those child's remains were found a few weeks later in March on family property in Blountville. No one has been charged in her death. However, two people have been charged in relation to the child's disappearance. Evelyn's grandmother, Angela Boswell, and William McLeod were arrested in North Carolina back in February after they were found in a BMW that was reported stolen. That vehicle was the subject of a BOLO in relation to the Amber Alert. Boswell and McLeod were each charged with one count of theft of property. Kaylin Cluck was in the courtroom today where they appeared for a hearing on those charges.
Angela Boswell and William McLeod's theft of property case was bound over to the Sullivan County grand jury today. Two witnesses testified. The first was the car's owner, Melissa Wood, mother of Hunter Wood. It was said in court Hunter was dating Megan Boswell around February 13th. This was the week before the Amber Alert for Evelyn Boswell was issued. Melissa said Hunter brought Megan to look at a car she was selling.
Right, your son Hunter physically transported his girlfriend, Megan or Maggie, to your house where you relinquished custody of the car to the both of them.
Melissa testified Megan drove the car off and never paid for or returned it. Amid the investigation into Evelyn's disappearance, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department contacted Melissa and asked if she'd like to report it stolen.
So at this point, it seems to be stolen because I don't know where it's at.
A bolo was issued for the silver BMW on February 21st. Angela and William were arrested with it in Wilkes County, North Carolina. One of the officers who made the arrest was Wilkes County Detective Jason Adams, who also testified in court today. Adams said Angela told him she'd purchased the car from her daughter's boyfriend, but could provide no documentation to prove this. Today, Adams presented an extraction report of text messages from Angela Boswell's cell phone given to him by the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, but he said he hadn't read it.
You can't testify that you found anything to support the theft of the stolen car here at this preliminary hearing, correct?
Sir, I just found the car. I can't testify anything about the theft of that car.
William McLeod's appointed attorney, Ricky Curtis, pointed out Adams had the extraction report of Angela's text messages since February.
Despite the fact that the detective that did testify has had that information for months now, you didn't hear anything about, here's a text that says the car is stolen. So
Judge Louderback bound the case over to grand jury. Angela and William returned to the Sullivan County Jail, where they're held on other charges unrelated to the car theft. The Bluffville address listed on court documents for Evelyn's mom, Megan Boswell, is owned by Randy Wood. Randy Wood is the father of Hunter Wood, Megan's ex-boyfriend. According to the court documents, that address is where Child Protective Services talked to Megan on February 18th about Evelyn's whereabouts. The 2007 gray BMW with a Sullivan County tag was reported stolen on February 20th by Melissa Wood, Hunter's mom. A be on the lookout or bolo for that car was made public on February 21st. Angela Boswell, Evelyn's grandmother, and her boyfriend William McLeod were arrested in that BMW on the night of the 21st in Wilkes County, North Carolina on North Lomax Road. That's the same road where McLeod's grandmother Mary lives and where the pawn search in connection to the case that came up empty took place on February 26th.
Now, Angela Boswell, grandmother of Evelyn, appeared before a judge in Kingsport General Sessions Court this morning. Angela has paid all but $1,000 of her bond regarding her charge of probation violation out of Kingsport. She is also facing a charge of theft of property over $2,500 in Sullivan County General Sessions Court in Bristol. Angela was allegedly found with William McLeod in a stolen BMW in Wilkes County, North Carolina, February 21st. Now, William McLeod, the boyfriend of Angela Boswell, could be bonded out from jail as early as tomorrow. That's according to McLeod's bail bondsman, Derek Bishop. He told News Channel 11 that that McLeod claims to have only seen the missing Evelyn Boswell 2 times. Once when he and Boswell began dating at some point last November. Bishop said one of McLeod's family members called the bonding company today. That family member said they would have the money for the $10,000 bond in McLeod's account by tomorrow. Bond was set at $10,000 after McLeod's arraignment this morning.
At new this morning, police say 2 of those people, Evelyn's mother and grandmother, are not allowed to speak to each other. The 3 in jail include the child's mother, Megan Boswell, the grandmother, Angela Boswell, and the grandmother's boyfriend, William McLeod. Late last night, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office told us that they are being held in the general population holding area with other inmates. However, we are also told Megan and Angela are, quote, not permitted to see one another in jail, end quote.
Now, if you remember, the grandmother, Angela, and William McLeod were arrested after they were both allegedly found driving a stolen car that was connected to the case. You might remember that bolo we were telling you about. Now, the mother, Megan, who you see right there, was arrested and charged with 1 count of giving false reports to investigators. In a news conference yesterday, Sullivan County Sheriff Jeff Cassidy cautioned the public against believing information from Megan.
Many of the false statements that Megan made delayed our investigations and also impeded our investigations on trying to find Evelyn.
15-month-old Evelyn still missing this morning. The search for her is now stretched into 3 different states, Tennessee, Virginia, and now North Carolina.
Yesterday, law enforcement searched this pond you see right there in Wilkes County, North Carolina, near where Angela Boswell and McLeod were arrested. McLeod's grandmother owns the property next to the pond. She said the 2 showed up at her home asking for money to get out of North Carolina and that her grandson was wet.
He'd been at the motel
at Lowe's Motel in Wilkesboro, and there'd been a pipe burst. And he got his feet wet, and somebody stole his money, and he needed money to get back to Bristol.
We want you to look at some brand new video just in this afternoon of Evelyn Boswell, released by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation on social media. Detectives say they followed up on more than 375 possible leads. And they said today a reward fund has now grown to over $50,000. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is involved in the search, as it has been from the start, along with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and the TBI.
The child's grandmother, Angela Boswell, and her boyfriend, William McLeod, appeared in a Wilkes County, North Carolina courtroom this morning. The pair were arrested after being found in a car investigators had been searching for in relation to the missing child. And just into our newsroom tonight, Angela Boswell is being extradited back to Sullivan County at this hour. That's according to the Wilkes County Sheriff's Office.
She likely will be going to Blountville, and that's where News Channel 11's Kelly Grossfield is now. She's outside the Sheriff's Office with the latest on that court appearance and other developments today. Kelly?
Josh, on Friday, authorities were able to locate that 2007 gray BMW, which was in fact reported stolen. Now, Boswell and McLeod did go in front of a judge this morning to face those theft charges and to negotiate that extradition back here to Sullivan County. 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell remains missing. The latest break in the case was locating a gray 2007 BMW similar to this one. Inside the car, authorities found William McLeod and Angela Boswell, Evelyn's grandmother. The two were wanted for questioning in the case, and as of now, it's still unclear of their exact involvement when it comes to Evelyn's disappearance. Boswell and McLeod appeared in front of a Wilkes County judge separately on Monday morning, the two in court facing theft charges, but Boswell making a plea to the judge to be extradited back to Tennessee, saying she needed to be home to help in the search for her grandchild.
Get a hold of him. He didn't appear last time we were here. We waited until 5 o'clock before we reset it. So let this be dismissed. Space position.
Judge, we left Trooper Page a voicemail about an hour and a half or so ago. We have not heard back from them at this point. And even if there were to be a preliminary hearing, it's probably something we'd be able to get to this afternoon anyway. Looks like
Good evening. I'm Sarah Diamond. Josh Smith has the night off. News Channel 11 learned late this afternoon a sighting of Evelyn Boswell was reported to Yadkinville, North Carolina police. Investigators are looking into a tip that the toddler was seen 2 or 3 weeks ago at a KFC restaurant there. According to the tip, Evelyn was with her grandmother, Angela Boswell, and Boswell's boyfriend, William McLeod. After checking out nearly 600 tips, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and Sullivan County Sheriff's Office say there is still no sign of Evelyn Boswell. Investigators urge anyone with information to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Now, Evelyn's grandmother, Angela Boswell, appeared in a Kingsport courtroom this morning on a failure to appear charge. She was arrested in Wilkes County, North Carolina on Friday and charged with theft in connection to a stolen car the TBI believed was linked to the Amber Alert case. Police also arrested William McLeod. He was extradited to Sullivan County yesterday, and he was arraigned on the theft charge as well this morning. A judge set his bond at $10,000. Caitlin Cluck spoke with the bail bondsman who revealed what McLeod told him about Evelyn.
The bail bondsman for Angela Boswell and William McLeod has assisted both with various charges against them in recent years. He spoke with William just last night and shared with me what McLeod told him about the disappearance of Evelyn Boswell. Bondsman Derek Bishop says William McLeod claims to have only seen the missing Evelyn Boswell twice. Once when he and Evelyn's grandmother, Angela Boswell, began dating, and at some point last November.
And I just asked him if he knew where the baby was, and he made a comment that the baby's mother knows where the baby is. And it just seems like that she's trying to kind of pawn it off on Angela.
Angela was arrested last Friday in North Carolina on charges of probation violation and theft of property.
I guess Angela and her daughter had a little bit of a rocky relationship, and they were trying to mend that. And I guess the way they were trying to mend that was through the relationship with Evelyn as well.
Bishop assisted Angela Boswell with multiple bonds since 2018 and McLeod with one last year. Now he's helping McLeod after he was arrested in a stolen BMW, wanted in the search for Evelyn Boswell.
They didn't know that the car was stolen or the car hasn't been paid for, but that's what he said. He said that that the arrangement was that they were paying for the car, and then all of a sudden the car got reported stolen on the 20th.
McLeod told Bishop that he visited his grandmother in Wilkes County, North Carolina a week ago, near the pond searched Wednesday by authorities. Officials called that search inconclusive. Bishop says McLeod told him last night that he's offered to take a polygraph test.
And I guess he did give his DNA to the authorities as well.
Like everyone, Bishop says when it comes to the missing Evelyn Boswell, he hopes for the best.
Just wish everything's safe for the baby.
And you will continue to help them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As they want it?
Absolutely.
And Bishop also told me today he expects McLeod to be out of the Sullivan County Jail on bond tomorrow. McLeod will have to wear an ankle monitor if that bond is posted.
Today, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says it assisted the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office in executing a search warrant at a mobile home park on Buffalo Road in Blountville. A Sheriff's Office spokesperson told us the search was a planned search in relation to the Evelyn Boswell case. News Channel 11's Kaylin Cluck was at the scene and spoke with a person at the trailer that was searched. She joins us live with details.
Investigators from both the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and the TBI were at Lakeshore RV Park today searching a trailer. Now, after that investigation wrapped up, I was able to speak with a person living inside that trailer and ask exactly what happened. Zachary Warfield says he's lived at the trailer off Buffalo Road in Blountville for only a couple months, but he told us who may have lived there previously.
I think the mother and the daughter.
Megan and Evelyn?
Yeah.
Warfield says he had no relation to the Boswells, but amid the investigation into Evelyn's disappearance, he says authorities have visited the trailer before.
That's the first time they had an investigation team, but there were a couple of detectives that have came here before and asked a couple of questions.
Warfield says investigators searched through the trailer and dug under and around it. He says investigators found what he described as a brown bag beneath the trailer.
They were digging around back there because they saw some soft ground, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, is that where they found the item?
No, they found the item under the trailer.
Can you just, do you know where that is?
Yeah. Right around here. Right under there.
Okay. And can you just describe one more time what you saw them take out of there?
It was a brown bag. I don't know whether it was paper or plastic, but it was a brown bag about that big.
Footage from when investigators were leaving the scene does show one official carrying out a brown bag. Sullivan County Sheriff's Office Captain Andy Siebold says they aren't releasing any details regarding follow-up activities to the investigation. He also says they, along with the TBI and FBI, continue to search for Evelyn Boswell.
Around 10 p.m., authorities said that new information brought forth led them to that property. In a press conference last night, the TBI, the Sullivan County Sheriff, and District Attorney General Barry Staubus said that the investigation into what happened to Evelyn Boswell is active and ongoing. People then set up a memorial on that property where the remains were found. Today, we reached out to those who are connected to the case and closest to Evelyn. I spoke with Megan Boswell's lawyer, Brad Sproles, who says he's the one who told Megan that Evelyn had been found.
Did she seem distraught? Was she crying?
Obviously upset. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. This is a tragic situation any way you look at it. So, her reaction was somewhat to be expected.
Brad Sproles is the court-appointed attorney representing Megan Boswell, Evelyn's mom, for her charge of giving false reports. He said he was the one who told her investigators found remains believed to be those of her 15-month-old daughter.
So were you the one that broke the news to her?
As far as I know, from what she had indicated to me, that no one had told her until I got there.
He says that even though his appointment to represent her ended when the case was bound over to grand jury, He expects to be reappointed at her next court date.
As a service to the court and to her, I went ahead and appeared last night at the press conference and went over and talked to her.
Sproul says he hopes people are cautious of placing judgment.
I agree with what the district attorney, General Staub, has said, that this is the very early stages, and for everyone to please be cautious about rushing to judgment here.
Megan remains in jail tonight on a $25,000 bond. She is due back in court May 8th. Last week, her mother, Angela Boswell, bonded out of jail for a stolen property charge over a BMW that was connected to the case.
Evelyn Boswell's grandmother walked out of jail and confronted the media just a moment ago.
Angela, when was the last time you seen Evelyn?
Where's Evelyn?
Do you know where Evelyn is, Angela?
When was the last time you saw her?
Hands off
at me, back up. Right now. Where's Evelyn? Do you know where she is? Is she alive?
When was the last time you talked to Megan?
Have you been able to speak to Megan at all? Do you know where your granddaughter is?
Do you know where Evelyn is? Angela, when was the last time you seen Evelyn?
Where's Evelyn?
Do you know where Evelyn is, Angela?
When was the last time you
Angela,
saw
put
her?
your hands off
at me, back up.
Right now.
Where's Evelyn? Do you know where she is? Is she alive?
When was the last time you talked to Megan?
Have you been able to speak to Megan at all? Do you know where your granddaughter is?
Do you know where Evelyn is?
Angela Boswell bonded out of jail Friday. Today in court, she was told she could face 2 to 12 years in prison. Judge Klein Louderback asked if she was going to hire a lawyer. Boswell claimed she couldn't find one yet.
I'm having to call like out of town and out of states because of all the stigma of this case, because I can't find an attorney that wants to take the case.
Boswell said she didn't work anywhere.
That may be one reason why nobody will call you back. I think you don't have any money.
I have means to hire.
So somebody's going to hire a lawyer for you.
Boswell was given until March 24th, her next court appearance, to hire an attorney. She then left the building, refusing to answer any questions from the media. But Boswell returned to the courtroom minutes later to watch the hearing for her boyfriend. William McLeod has not yet bonded out of the Sullivan County Jail. He appeared to blow kisses, wink, and mouth "I love you" at Angela Boswell. McLeod's attorney said he was ready for a preliminary hearing, but the prosecution, witnesses from North Carolina, weren't able to be in Bristol court Wednesday.
The question would be why they weren't here today.
He was just arrested a few days ago, Judge. It takes some time to get people here. You know, they get to travel, get off work, things like that. To be here for
Well, you know, if this is the case at Walmart, that might be true. But it's not like nobody knew about it.
Attorneys said witnesses could appear on March 24th, meaning McLeod and Boswell will once again share their next court date.
Her boyfriend, William McLeod, was arrested with her in North Carolina last week. He appeared in court earlier this week on that stolen property charge. He bonded out of the Sullivan County Jail Thursday afternoon.
Take it. Anything else you need over there? No. Okay, Officer Harris, it's all yours.
When was the last time you saw Evelyn?
Go and get that camera out my face, man.
Do you know where Evelyn is? Do you have anything to say to the public? Anything you'd like us to share?
He just loves you.
So this is kind of interesting. This is crazy. So when this happened, because we all thought, like, of course they're involved. We thought Evelyn and William were probably involved, right? This was I think it was the day before, right? Yeah, the day before they found Evelyn's remains. And we all thought this was like kind of a hint because, well, he's playing a song. Listen. Down by the sycamore tree. So it was help me remember how that linked to the muddy river, or wait, muddy brook. What is the street that they lived on? Muddy Brook or Muddy, and they had like a big tree there. And anyway, people were, I think it was just a coincidence, but they rolled down the window. And so people thought he was he was answering where Evelyn was on Muddy Brook or Muddy. Why can't I remember the road they were on? Hold on a second. Megan Boswell. Hold on. Muddy. Basin 19. Hold on. Megan Boswell. Hold on. Muddy. I just saw a video where it had the sign Muddy Brook or something. Muddy. But I'm trying to remember. I always have to be reminded how that relates. The sycamore tree. There was a big tree, I guess, there, but there's something to do with it relates to the Muddy Brook. But hold on, because he basically thought he was trying to say where Evelyn was, and then she ended up being found, on that road. Megan Boswell. Hold on a second. I think it's just a coincidence. I don't know why. I just don't think that is anything, but I do think there's a chance their mom might not have known, because I mean, they were like, the great grandpa was saying, well, Megan's grandpa, I should say, was saying that they lived together for like 2 weeks in February, which would have been after Evelyn was already gone. So you're telling me that Angela, Megan's mom, never asked, like, hey, where's Evelyn for 2 weeks? And Megan never said anything? Like, Megan never answered? Or no, I don't know. It's hard to believe that, like, maybe she did end up telling her, because where would Megan have told Angela, her mom, where Evelyn was for a couple weeks? I mean, that would be weird to think that she just said, oh, I don't know what she would have said. I really don't, because we haven't talked. I mean, we haven't heard from Angela. I don't know. I'd love an interview with her, man. Are you kidding me? Sorry, I'm looking. I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm trying to find the something real quick. Why can't I remember how that relates? Let me see if chat remembers what the point of the whole sycamore. And then okay, hold on. The muddy branch. Oh, is a muddy branch? But why was that so linked to the sycamore tree, though? Because they said, oh, there was a big sycamore tree there, right? But that seems kind of far, like, that doesn't seem like it's really that. Oh, look at my question. Is a grandpa gonna I don't know, Sarah. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it seems like a reach. It does. But I feel like I'm missing something. There was something else. Okay, the sycamore tree. Yeah, I don't know who's going to, because a lot of this stuff's sealed for the case. So I don't even know. I tried to look up some of the documents and I couldn't even get into any of them. Muddy Creek. Yeah, it's Muddy Creek. It's Muddy Creek. Why couldn't I think of that? It is Muddy Creek, 100%. Oh my Lord. Why? I don't know why I could not think of that, because I just got done seeing a freaking video where they show the freaking street sign. It's Muddy Creek is the road that the father lives on, that they found Evelyn on. Okay. But my question is, down by the sycamore tree, Just okay, maybe there's a sycamore tree there, I guess. But is that the only thing that connected him playing that song to that? Because I'm surprised, like, even back then I was like really considering it was something, because that does sound like a stretch. But I mean, I guess the thing was, they were asking, do you know where Evelyn is? And then they drive away and he rolls down the window, and I think he's even singing it, and they're playing that song, right? I don't know. Let me see. Let me rewind it.
To share?
He just loves you.
Wait, what did he
Do you have
say?
anything to say to the public? Anything you'd like us to share?
He just loves you.
What did he say?
Today, I went to the address listed on Angela Boswell's court documents in Kingsport. William McLeod answered the door. I asked him if he would speak with me on camera about the discovery of Evelyn. He said, quote, "I will be right back." Seconds later, he reopened the door and said, "Do you see that driveway?" Pointed to our car and said, "You need to get right back in your car and leave." The burglary charge was against Angela Boswell and was dismissed, but today she faces a new charge. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cindy Kessler. Boswell was accused of breaking into a father's home on West Valley Drive in Kingsport on March 25th. 3 witnesses testified during this morning's hearing: a neighbor of her father, a Sullivan County detective, and Boswell's father, David Jones. After hearing testimony, Judge Mark Toohey dismissed the aggravated burglary charge, but the judge found probable cause to charge Boswell with theft under $10,000, having drugs at a jail, and possession of counterfeit money. The new charge against her, criminal simulation, is associated with that counterfeit money. A Sullivan County grand jury will now hear the charges against Angela Boswell. The judge has set her bond at $50,000. And Angela Boswell is the grandmother of Evelyn Boswell. An Amber Alert was issued for the missing toddler back in February, and her body was found in early March. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office recently told us they identified a person of interest in the Evelyn Boswell case, but would not identify that person.
Mark, thank you. New tonight, William McLeod, the man connected to the Evelyn Boswell Amber Alert case, is back behind bars tonight. McLeod was arrested earlier this morning on 3 charges: child abuse and neglect, violation of an order of protection, and domestic assault. Deputies with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office say they spoke with a woman who claimed to be the ex-girlfriend of McLeod and the mother of his 8-year-old child. Reports indicate she told deputies that McLeod had been at her home on Saturday night for dinner, but while at the home, the victim says that McLeod began to assault her. During the alleged assault, she says her child, who attempted to stop it, was struck in the face by McLeod. McLeod has been booked into the Sullivan County Detention Center.
Well, Casey, that hearing actually turned into an arraignment. Megan Boswell has now been charged with a new first-degree murder charge of premeditated murder. The state actually took these findings to the grand jury last month. This is in addition, though, to the 2 counts of felony murder, false reports, aggravated child abuse and neglect, tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report a death.
We had additional information from the investigation, and we decided that we would add this charge if the grand jury felt that we had enough evidence to do so.
Megan Boswell's attorney, Gene Scott, says that he was given a heads up about the charge after it was presented to the grand jury. Megan pleaded not guilty to it today. Now, new this afternoon, the ex-boyfriend of Megan Boswell was arrested last week. Police say Preston Hunter Wood was involved in a DUI crash that hospitalized a woman. Reportedly, Wood was placed under arrest after he performed poorly on sobriety tests. Authorities say he also did not have car insurance. Wood was charged with driving under the influence, aggravated assault, resisting arrest, and failure to comply with financial responsibility. No other information about the crash victim is available.
I've never met the father in my life as well. to my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, you know, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child, you know, never seen it, never seen her or anything of that matter.
Oh, what a strange group of people, huh? Oh, hey, Austin, what's up? I don't know why I said that. How are you? Heavy D will get her in prison. I was gonna play. I have a couple other videos I was gonna play. I don't know if I'm going to. Just like a couple of my other old videos. They're kind of short ones, but it would be about Megan and William. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, I have my YouTube up. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me remove that. Hold on a second. I do silly. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me look at something really quick, you guys. Wait, how did it do that again? Hold on, I'm looking at something. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. So, okay, so we have robbed her. Oh yeah, the one where she robbed her own freaking dad. This is like goes a little bit. They're really short. Hold on, I'll play a little pieces of it. Hold on, I'm fast forwarding to the part where, wow, I just leave it like totally quiet for a minute. What am I doing? It's like 30. All right, here. So this is about, that's just crazy. It's like, so like keeping up. And I looked at her, at least I looked up Sullivan County, and it doesn't look like she has any current cases. So whether she maybe like left and is now in another place getting in trouble, or she just started not getting in trouble anymore, because 2020 is the last time she's, at least in Sullivan County, that there's a case for her. So either I wonder if she's still alive, or she moved and is somewhere else, and I don't know what county to look up, or she straightened up and stopped getting in trouble. Don't know, guys, but I'll have to look into her. I haven't looked into her for years because I just haven't thought about her, you know? Okay, so it says the Office of Sullivan County District Attorney General Barry Staubis filed a motion Friday to revoke or increase Angela Boswell's bond due to her continuing criminal activity. The motion asked the court to set bond and an amount not less than twice that which is customarily set for the offense charged. The district attorney's office is asking the court to alter the woman's bond in a previous arrest when she was charged with the theft of a vehicle. Supposedly, she stole that BMW that was Hunter Woods, Megan's boyfriend, Hunter Woods, her daughter. But for some reason, her dad said he was there when Hunter and Megan gave her the car, and they actually gave it to her. So who knows? I don't know who was lying in that. Did she steal that BMW, or did they give it to her? Who knows? But that's besides the point, because she is stealing more. I mean, she got in trouble for stealing at Walmart, and then here's this. Let me finish reading this here. So it says, Blunteville, Tennessee. Bond was set Friday at $50,000 for Angela Boswell, who was arrested Thursday after authorities said she broke into her parents' home in Sullivan County. Her parents, her dad is the one that bailed her out and supposedly bailed out her boyfriend, but then I heard otherwise. I heard that no, it wasn't her dad that bailed her William McLeod out. I'm not sure about that, but we know he bailed her out, and it seems like he supports her and he's on her side, and she goes and steals from him. What a piece of work there. Okay, so it says Boswell, 42, The grandmother of deceased Blunteville toddler Evelyn Boswell, the subject of a recent Amber Alert, faces charges of aggravated burglary, theft under $10,000, and introduction of drugs into a penal facility, and possession of counterfeit money. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office said witnesses on Wednesday told them that Angela Boswell and Chad Fields went to the home of David Jones, the woman's father, and pried open the door. The father told authorities that several items, including 2 televisions, 2 weapons, and an electric handsaw were taken from the home, according to an affidavit. The woman was arrested Thursday and appeared in General Sessions Court on Friday morning. The judge set bond and a new date has been scheduled for April 9th. Boswell told deputies that she was at the home but did not take anything. Evelyn Boswell, the woman's granddaughter, had been missing since December, according to the family. Her body was discovered on property in Blunteville on March 6th. The death remains under investigation by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations and SCSO. Okay, so how crazy this guy, it sounds like he helps her out a lot. He supports her. He bails her out of jail, possibly bails her boyfriend out of jail, and she goes and robs him. But I mean, I know drugs will make you do things like that. And we know that she was found with, I have another article that says actually that it was meth that they found. She had meth on her when they arrested her. So like I said, I know from personal experience that it can make you do things you wouldn't normally do, like steal things from people, from your family, from stores. I thank God somehow I never crossed that line. Like I drew a line and I did redraw that line a few times. I redrew it, but I never stole from my family or friends. So yeah, I know it'll make you do crazy things that you wouldn't normally do. I'm not giving her an excuse, and I'm just saying drugs, desperate times. I mean, you get in this desperation because you need it and you do crazy things that maybe you wouldn't normally do. Maybe she was brought up that way. She never broke the cycle. She brought up Megan that way. Now Megan's in jail for murder charges, possibly. So it just seems like you would just hope they would learn and just do different and do better, but obviously she's not. So I want to read you a couple parts of this other article. It says, according to a release from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, Boswell, 42, and a male accomplice reportedly entered a home and began concealing items on their bodies as they walked back to the vehicle. And then it says that the SCSO officials said surveillance video from the area showed the vehicle arriving at the residence with Angela Boswell in the male, identified as Larry Chad Fields, age 37, of Kingsport, exiting the vehicle and then entering the residence and then leaving the residence with items reported stolen. And then it says, according to authorities, Boswell appeared to be in possession of a small bag of what appears to be crystal methamphetamine and a $50 bill that appeared to be counterfeit. While Boswell was charged with aggravated burglary, theft under $10,000, the introduction of drugs into a penal facility, and possession of counterfeit money, authorities said they are still looking for the male accomplice. The male accomplice was identified as Larry Chad Fields, 37, of Kingsport. Authorities have a warrant out for Fields' arrest, charging him with aggravated burglary and theft under $10,000. So where does William McLeod, her boyfriend, come into play in all this? Was he the one driving the car? I'm sure he was with her. Maybe he was the one driving the car and then they went in and got the stuff. Who knows? I mean, maybe he wasn't with her, but I mean, I just find it hard to believe if they were together and he wasn't with her or somehow a part of it. I guess they would have to prove that. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that update. And there's really nothing new on this case besides this, but as far as Evelyn and what's going on with Megan, nothing has came yet. And I'm sure we're just probably gonna have to wait for the trial. So I don't know if that'll take a few years. I mean, sometimes you can get a trial in like 5 or 6 months. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's 5 years. It just depends. So we might have to wait for the trial to really find out any more details on Evelyn and Megan and what they ever make out of that and what evidence they have. But it looks like Angela's not getting out anytime soon, so she's where she belongs, because I really do think that she has something to do with it, at least an accomplice somehow. So I feel like she's where she needs to be until they could figure it all out. And she was on probation for 2 things. She had a prior thing she was on probation for, because when she got picked up for the BMW that was supposedly stolen, one of her charges was probation violation. So she was already on probation. And then now with those new charges from last time, the BMW and probation violation, and now this, so she's just a mess. I mean, she's got a lot of charges, and so they could probably keep her in for a while with all this stuff together and combined. So let's hope that her dad doesn't bail her out. Well, bond $50,000. Yeah, I don't think he will. I hope not. Her robbing him. You better not bail her out. Okay, so I want to read you one more post that I found on the Evelyn Boswell case here. I meant to read it in my last video and I forgot. Okay, so it says, so this man came into my work today, Waffle House, and he was saying that he is a neighbor of the mother, Megan Boswell. He stated that the mother's boyfriend, Hunter Wood, the mother of Megan Boswell, Angela Boswell, and the boyfriend, William McLeod, and Evelyn's mother, Megan Boswell, were high on meth and out of their minds, and they ran over the little girl with Hunter Wood's truck, and they put her in a trash can with her clothes, toys, etc. I'm not sure how true it is or how untrue it is, but this is just what I was told not long ago from my customer at my job. Accident or no accident, I believe they should fry everyone they think is involved. That precious baby is gone and she deserves justice. So like I said, I don't know if this is true, and the guy that posted it don't even know if this is true, or the person that posted it, they don't even know if it's true. So it could be true, it might not be true. I just share with you some interesting stuff that I find in these groups that people hear. Like I said, this isn't a fact here, so take it with however you want to take it. Just don't spread it around like it's for sure, because that's how wrong things get spread around as facts. So all I ask, like when I read you posts like this that are just kind of unsure, that they just kind of heard and they don't know if it's true, if you do tell anybody and share this kind of information with anybody, make sure they know that it might not be true. It's just what they heard, because I know with this kind of stuff, sometimes things will get spread around as fact, that it just kind of creates a mess, because there'll be a lot of things that aren't facts that people are thinking are facts. So like I said, I just share some of this stuff because it's interesting, and it's kind of interesting what people hear. It could be true, it might not be, but things that I think that maybe you guys might find interesting, and maybe you could kind of dig a little bit deeper and see what you could find out, because you guys help me out with a lot of information, and you guys find a lot of stuff, and you'll email me or comment. So that's another reason I like to throw out some of these things that might not be true, that it's kind of word of mouth, because then sometimes you guys look into it further and maybe actually find some truth, or sometimes it might actually lead you to the truth. I mean, that happens. But I always make sure I tell you when it's just either my opinion, or if I'm not sure if it's true, if I don't know the source, if the person wasn't sure. I always make sure that you guys know that. But so this is one of those instances where I found a post on Facebook, and even the person that posted said they aren't aware for sure if this person is reliable, because they don't know who this person is. It was just a customer of this person. So I just thought it was interesting. And also it might actually bring up somebody that knows something about this. It's another reason you put it out there, and then maybe somebody that actually has some information about this has more information and they share it. So like I said, it could lead to the truth if it isn't, or it could lead to the person that knows something. You never know. Let me know if you guys have heard this. It wouldn't surprise me, considering, well, Angela was just found with a bag of meth, so we know she's a meth user. But like I said, it could just be somebody just crazy, like his customer could just be some crazy person that just made it up just for attention. Sometimes people just make things up just to feel important or for attention. I have a feeling that the person that posted this was being truthful, like that somebody actually told him that, but we don't know the credibility of the person that told him that. All right, so yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Like I said, I hope you guys are all doing well in this crazy time. I'm going to put together another funny compilation video soon, so look for that. I'm going to be doing a live here soon, so look for that. Sorry I didn't do one this week. I know I was supposed to. My plans got changed. I was supposed to go over and watch my nephews, but their mom was off of work, and I was going to do a live from their house, and I'm kind of trying to avoid going in the big... Okay. I'm rambling. Wait, did I have that up? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go. What do you guys think? So Monday, I don't know if I'll do a one tomorrow or not on this. But then Monday starts the trial, so it's gonna be good. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's supposed to be like a month almost, maybe. I was watching some, what we could do tomorrow is watch some of the current stuff like Court TV and Long Crime that are talking about it now that the trial's coming up. Since like today I went through over all the past stuff, and then tomorrow we could go over all the current stuff. I mean, like stuff what they're saying now. But yeah. Do what? Love how you always do that, Zaf. Do what? Do what? I don't know what I always do, but all right, guys. Well, hopefully you learned something, and hopefully, like I might play some of the trial. If I do stream some of it, I don't know if I'll do all it. Like I almost just want to do highlights because I don't think I'm going to be able to do like a whole month worth. But if you guys, some people maybe just want to come and just chat about it afterwards, or if it's like something that you maybe can't commit to the whole thing, I'm going to try to do it on double speed and watch it. And I might not even be able to watch all of it. I mean, but I'm going to try to watch, at least all the important stuff. I'll try to watch it all. And then that's it. All right. Have a good one. Los Angeles area. Yeah, 2 hours. That was. All right. Bye, guys.